All right, if you guys don't see it, that's fine. We'll put it full screen then. I'll just keep on going. So let's talk a little bit about this matchup. So this matchup, Sweden versus Dutch. It's a little bit of an infamous matchup. People think that it's a bit Sweden favored. Some people think it's a little bit Dutch favored. Personally, I think that it's quite an even matchup, maybe even a little bit Sweden favored, but it depends how the Dutch player plays it. Now, Knuschelbär is absolutely no schmuck when it comes to the Dutch. He knows exactly what he's doing, and he's very familiar with the power of Sweden, and especially on a map like this. Now, you will all know that when it comes to Sweden, typically they want to be torping all of their coin mines. Now, that means that they want to be finding coin mines all over the map, and indeed, this map has many a coin mine. So we've got 1, 2 coin mines down to the south, 3, 4. On this side of the river alone, we've got a 5th coin mine up over here. Mirrored on the other side, we've got 1 coin mine to the north or to the south of this river. And then 1, 2, 3, 4 more coin mines over here. So in total, you've got 10 coin mines that are out on the map, not to mention 2 in your base. So this map has got a potential of 12 torping coin mines for the Swedish player. That is a lot. When you consider... Kaister in the chat saying, good luck. May the better cowboy win. And Knuschelbär giving him the XD. So we take a look now down at the scouting path, and we can actually see that Kaister knows that Nush is up over here. We might speed it up and then slow it down a little bit, see if that helps out with the game speed just a little bit. Kaister going for that final shot on the coyote, but I don't think he got it. I think Knuschelbär got it. When it comes to the game plan here, so I'm suspecting that we're going to be seeing Kaister do a age up to the second age with 14 villagers. There is the potential that he goes for a 15 villager age up because he has dropped a trading post, so it means he's going to be having a little bit of a slower time in general. This is something that we've seen become more and more meta, where Swedish players are opening with a trading post and going with a single torp in base rather than going 2 torps in base. It's a little bit slower, but it does work out to be a bit better in the end because it means that you're able to send 600 wood without having any real issues with your XP later on in the game. We'll take a look at Kaister's deck. We'll see exactly what he's got in there for us. So his deck is called 1v1. It's a blueberry opening, obviously, with Ironworks. He's got his Carolean upgrades in there, the 1, 2, 3, 4. He's got 3 coin mines as well as 4 copper mines in the 4th age. So some interesting cards. He's got the infinite 6 mams. He's also got the 2 heavy cannons. We don't see any 16 Caroleans out of him. Don't see any of those 5 hacker pellets that we do occasionally see sometimes. No Cav HP card in age 2 either. So let's go take a look and see what his opponent is doing. He's actually done a pretty good job of macroing towards this. He's at 650 food right now, so only going to be doing a 14 villager age up. So very, very nice from him. We take a look over at his opponent, Knuschelbär. Knuschelbär aging up with 15 villagers. So now going to be opting for that bank in transition. He did a market start here, so his villagers have already got hunting dogs on them. He's done a great job of picking up these early scouts, and this is really what he needs to do in the early game. So think about it from the perspective of the Dutch player. He needs to be keeping tabs on the Swedish expansion. And you see that where this envoy is placed, it's placed towards the north where this ramp is. So this ramp kind of reminds me a little bit of a StarCraft map, this map, because you have a base which is higher, and then you've got ramps down. So you can see that the cliffs here are like preventing any passage through. And then you've got like more cliffs down here, and you've got these ramps. So very easy to sort of keep tabs on any potential straggling villages that come through. And so it's quite a nice map. I'd love to see this map moved into the standard map pool. But what it means is that Noosh is going to have a very easy time of tracking down any potential villagers on his side of the map by having this sort of pet army. We can see he's got the 1 envoy. He's got Buck the Tame Wolf. He's also got the Arawak Scout as well as his Explorer. So that's 4 units he can use to keep tabs on his opponent. We actually see that he has got a villager that's out doing a bit of herding. It kind of looks like a bit of a forward villager. And going to be doing his best to try and get this Explorer down, but actually missing the snare with the Explorer because he's got such a large Pokemon army, which is what it's commonly referred to as when you've got this Age 1 army. Some nice treasures nearby as well, but nothing too crazy. We take a look at his deck. So it's called Land 4, and this is quite an economic deck. I'm very curious about this. Okay, so we've obviously got Colonial Militia in Age 1, or Town Militia as it's now called. And we've got the 2 bank cards, Bank of Rotterdam as well as Bank of Amsterdam in Age 1. Now, typically, we don't actually see these cards used a lot for the Dutch recently, but they've started to become a bit more common now that they've got buffs. So they never used to have this +5 settler build limit, but now they've got that. So we've got a little bit of a kerfuffle, a little bit of a scuffle beginning to happen. So the first settler getting chased in. Noosh doing a great job of chasing this settler in and saying, you know what? You're going to eventually expand up to the north. Go back. Go back to where you came from. And doing a great job of just forcing it in. I wouldn't be surprised to see, as a result, Kaister sending out another villager as a result. Like, maybe even just, you know, send one behind the back here. Just do a real sneaky one. We take a look over at Noosh, and we'll see what he's doing. He's dropped that bank down. Bank definitely coming in quite late for him. Normally, we do see the bank getting dropped down before the age up actually happens, but and completed, but it didn't happen. He was about a third through his first shipment. I'm going to be losing the Buck the Tame Wolf here, so a bit unfortunate. We see that the native scout is moving back just to cover this choke point here, and going with the 700. We'll take a look at the deck and see what else we spot. Anything. So there's no advanced arsenal here. So against Sweden, I definitely would advocate for advanced arsenal. You really want to try and get that military drummer out at some point in the game if the game goes that long. Other than that, we've got the 2 heavy cannons in age 4, as well as the infantry combat and your standard shipments. Also got the 12 Swiss pikemen as well. So doing a great job at the beginning of just sort of tracking down what's happening now. Opening with a barracks in base. Now, typically, this is something I wouldn't agree with. I would have loved to have seen this barracks just placed right here. You know, really try and get up as close to the torps as you possibly can. And want to start with pikes. So he's doing the right thing, getting these pikes out nice and early. So definitely doing the right thing. And these pikes are undoubtedly going to be heading to the closest torp. So whether that means the torp down here. We'll take a look over at Kaister and we'll see exactly what he's up to. So Kaister scouting out all of the torps, not really opting to go to his opponent's side. Typically, that's one of the things that you will see Sweden players do, is they will try and get to their opponent's side and torp that up first. Because if you can keep your opponent on their side, then it leaves you free to torp your own side up. Whereas, you know, if you torp here and pikes come down here, well, I mean, you can defend these torps with your own Carolians, but it makes it a little bit more difficult. You're kind of put in the corner. So it's a difficult spot, I would say. Kaister now going to be sending in the ironworks and opening up with hussars. So very, very curious here. Going to be rallying his hussars. I'm curious if we see a rally point. Not really. He spotted out the barracks from his opponent. He probably would know what is going to be coming. Has he eaten the cows? Did he actually age up with cows? I'm not too sure if he went with cows or if he went with the Philosopher Prince. I don't think he would have gone Philosopher Prince. If he did Philosopher Prince, he probably would have gotten out a full batch here, or at least gotten close to it, but he didn't get really even close to it. Going to be chasing out the... oh, my lord. Okay, pikeman already coming in. Going to be defending the Dutch explorer. So, Noosh doing a great job. 6 minutes. He's got the pikes beginning to siege down the outpost. And we see that Kaiser's actually opening up with leather cannons now. So, opting for a leather cannon shipment instead of, say, something like blueberries or dropping down that racks that we do typically see out of Sweden. And I guess this is a bit more... it makes a lot of sense to me because he's got these 2 coin mines in base that he can be torping. Okay, we actually do see the cow there. I have managed to spot it, so he did indeed go up with a naturalist. So he's got these 2 coin mines that he can be torping. He's got this one as well, so it's a 3rd one. And then he's got this coin mine, which is a 4th coin mine. And, I mean, he can realistically be moving out to this. He can very easily defend this with leather cannons. You know, one of the issues that Sweden has when they go for leather cannons is they're very immobile. It's like, okay, you know, I can defend here, but then my opponent pokes me up here. Well, now we've got a problem. They poke me over here. Well, we've got a problem. With leather cannons, it doesn't really matter, though, because on this map, you've got so many coin mines that are just within this tight little quadrant. You know, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 coin mines all here. You can just basically leave your leather cannons here. You're going to be fine. You're not going to really have any issues. Looks like a village is actually going to be going down to the explorer. So I don't think the explorer is going to be, yep, shooting her in the back of the head, falling down, and she goes down. Leather cannons now coming out for Kaister. Also training more hussars. As he continues. 2 torps now going down, so Kaister having a little bit of difficult time. We'll tune back in with Knuschelbär. We'll see what he's up to. Sending in the bank wagon now. We're at the 7-minute mark, so probably opening with 7 and 600 wood. He does indeed go 7, 600 wood. Got those 3 banks up now, so doing a great job of opening. Probably going to have more pikes coming out eventually, maybe even switching into skirmishes. We see the Arawak scout actually spots the leather cannons coming in, so he knows to move back. Now, keep in mind, Kaister's probably wondering, how does he bloody know to move back right now? Well, he knows to move back because of that Arawak scout. It's going to come down to who can get the best connections here. Kaister trying to bait the pikes back into the leather cannons, but Knuschelbär knows that those leather cannons are coming in, and so he's going to be ultra careful. If we reveal the fog of war, we see that he is going for a cut. He's also trying to pull them as well. He's heading towards the crossing now, and the pikes are doing their best to try and avoid dying to the, or getting snared by the Hussars, but now we see the leather cannons have opened up. So going to be able to shut down this early aggression. He's managed to take out 2 torps, but I don't think he's necessarily put on enough hurt to actually stop or deal with Sweden completely. And now the pikes are somewhat in the corner, a little bit cornered, and leather cannon's going to be taking them out, going to be taking off the last one. There we go. So leather cannon's managing to take out, I think, about 4 or 5 pikes. Not a lot of Hussars being lost, about 2 Hussars being lost there, so a pretty decent trade. Pikes now up to the north. This is exactly what Knuschelbär needs to be doing, spreading around his pikes, keeping tabs on all of these coin mines. It's exactly what he needs to be doing, and he's got that Arawak scout that he can be doing it with. So we'll take a look and see, where's that Arawak scout? Just keeping tabs on this leather cannon. We have a look at the movement speed. It's right behind. 2.75 movement speed versus the 3. So not too bad at all. Chasing down that one villager. Managed to kill it. Going up to the 3rd age now. Now pushing to put some pressure on. Potentially idle Knuschelbär here. And we take a look over at Kaister's perspective. His torp population is very, very low. Okay. He's only on 110. At this point, we're 8 minutes 30 into the game. I would like to see Kaister on 200. That is incredibly low. Obviously he's going for a little bit more of a you know, what's the way to say it? A little bit more tempo-based build order. But when your opponent's sitting on a 4-bank FF, they've already burnt down 2 shrines, they've taken out a 3rd one, they've killed 2 villages of you at least at this stage. That is a pretty low torp number. So I'd really like to see that improved. Dropping down a barracks now as well. At this point, I would say that Noosh is definitely in the driver's seat. Not necessarily because he killed a lot of torps or because he stopped a lot of torping vills, but mainly because Kaister's torp boom hasn't been the strongest. He's only got 10 torps out on the field at the moment. So really needs to be focusing a bit more on that. Needs to be really doing a bit more, but we'll focus in. His macro is actually looking pretty on point at the moment. So training 5 Karolians. He's got the Hussar in queue, but keeping less than 100 resources of every resource. Definitely something nice to see. What's he going to opt for with his first shipment in the 2nd age? Probably the 2 Falconets I expect we'll see against the Dutch. Maybe even look towards potential Jaegers. I think that in this matchup, Jaegers early are quite a decent opening, especially against, you know, potential Fortress Age where we're going to see these mass Reuters building up. So once we see... So he's got 1 stable that he's put down. I suspect after this, we're probably going to see the 1,000 Wood come in as the next card. And he's going to continue pressuring the map. I mean, Noosh knows that there are no torps up here. So Noosh is feeling really good. We've got 5 pikes that are down here. We've got 5 pikes up here. And this is something that I talk about often. I bring this up all the time. And we do see the 1,000 Wood coming in. Is that all you need to be sieging down these these torps is just 5 pikes. That's literally it. And now Noosh moving back, spotting out that leather cannon again, and you just know that Kaister would be fuming at the moment. He'd be like, this guy's hacking. He's hacking 100%. How does he know? Every single time I push up with my leather cannons, he's moving away. How does he know it? How does he know? He's got that little native scout. I would suspect that he'd start to think something was up. But now the Reuter's coming in. The Reuter's going to be able to get right on top of these leather cannons. Taking the first shot out. Looks like they're going to be able to 2-shot them. There it goes. Second leather cannon going to be going down here as well. We see Snaplock as the first card sent in for Kaister. So I don't know if I guess that does kind of make sense in this matchup if you're going to be going very heavy on Karolians. We see that he's actually dropped down a 2nd barracks as well. Sitting on 100 torp pop at the moment, so really not doing the best when it comes to his economy. Would love to see him up on max torps at the moment, considering we're up at 10 minutes now. Take a look at his deck. Maybe after this, potentially even see 1,000 Wood come in and then go straight into, just straight into like a torp spam. But I mean, at this point for like Kaister, we can see that this side of the map is not torped. There's no torps down here. He's cleaned up these torps. I feel like I'm saying the word torp a lot, but I mean, I guess we're watching the Swedes, aren't we? And that's really what this is about. Skirmish is now beginning to move across the map. Plenty of Reuters out as well. And continuing, the pikes are continuing to lay to waste. Got to be careful with these Reuters. Now you might be wondering, is Kaister client? These are 2 different people. We've got Kaiser and we have Kaister. So very, very similar names. And Kaister is from the United States. Kaiser Klein is from, I want to say Germany, but it's actually from France. So the reason I think of Germany is because obviously his name's Kaiser. And there's many famous Germans with the name Kaiser. So now we've got the veterancy coming in for the Karolians. Knuschelbär sending in that infantry combat. So keep in mind, he's dropped 1,000 wood down. So probably going to be going for a second barracks here, as well as a third bank. I wouldn't be surprised to see those two coming out. Doing a great job here. This mix against Swedes really goes quite well. Now, keep in mind, he does have snap lock, so he's going to be able to get relatively effective trades here. But actually recalling his recalling infantry combat and going straight into cavalry combat here. So a curious decision. Potentially going to be seeing a second stable drop down for Kaiser, for Knusch, sorry. But at the same time, managing to push up with these pikes, like, this is really what it comes down to. You've just got to be thinking about the torps. That's really all it comes down to. Think about the torps, have a way to siege them, and be fighting against Sweden, and you're going to be absolutely fine here. We look at Kaister now down to 70 torp population. Look, I just saw the scores. Oh my lord. Okay, at this point, you're looking at the scores, and you're like, okay. All right, Kaister. Okay. You might be wondering why the win rate for Sweden is so low in tournaments. I think single-handedly, Kaister's doing a great job of balancing it out for everybody. Thanks, Kaister. So a little bit of a difficult spot for him here. Skirmishers are just pushing back the Karolians. Pikes are beginning to siege down everything. And Kaiser's backed into the corner. Even though he's only got 2 torps in base on each of these respective coin mines, he's in a difficult spot. Like, he's still got this cow that he hasn't deleted yet. You got to delete that cow, buddy. You got to get it eaten. Even the torps will just begin to eat it. We take a look back over at Knusch, see what he's up to. Sending in 1,000 food. So is he going to be going for like a cavalry timing here? Oh my god. Dropping an arsenal. Going to be going for CIR. Dropping an artillery foundry. He's dropping an artillery foundry and sending 1,000 food. Are you going to be selling that food? You don't have 1,000 coin in the deck. What are you doing with 1,000 food? And dropping an artillery foundry? You can't make leather cannons? What's going on here? Now, the final torp that's outside Kaister's base is going to be going down. With this, I suspect Kaister will be housed. In fact, I take it back. He's already housed, attempting to drop down that torp. And, you know, I would say that the tilt meter is rising right now for Kaister, because I think that torp might be a little bit too far away from this coin mine. I think it's just slightly too far away. I don't think it's going to actually be gathering. Yeah, it's not gathering. It's not gathering the coin. So a tough spot for Kaister. Definitely beginning to show, feel the nerves, I guess we would say. Definitely feeling the nerves against Knuschelbär. That is for sure. And we'll move back now. So beginning to torp outside the base. He's got falconets up, which is really what he needs to do. Let's move back over to Knusch. Knusch, just ahead of the game. Single culverin, just in queue. That's all he needs. And we've got 24 Reuters out now, beginning to train more. He's got 4 in queue, as well as more pikes. Look at this, just going back, checking, seeing if he can spot any torps. We've got a single house out here. There's no reason for these villagers to be out here. You guys know why these are out here? To keep tabs on these coin mines. That's literally it. These houses have been built just to keep tabs on these coin mines. He wants to make sure there's no extra torps going up here. And this is really this is what it takes to beat Sweden. I guess, you know, when I see how well Knusch plays this, because he's honestly played it immaculately. I cannot fault Knusch at this point. Not a single mistake has been made at this point. It is impeccable play from Knuschelbär. So, you know, it's like, if you've got to play this well to beat Sweden, well, I mean, that's saying something. Another villager going down for Kaister over on the left-hand side of the map. So one of those torping vills that he's trying to get out there. He's trying to walk it across the map. You might think it's a good Sweden map, but you've got these little choke points in here that are just so easy to sort of track where everything's going to happen. Now the 1,000 wood going to be coming in for Kaister, dropping down those further torps outside the base. It looks like he's trying to get to the industrial age, but you just know it's not going to happen. It's just, the resources just tick so slowly, don't they? Cow finally getting deleted. Going to be eaten up, gobbled up by those torps. And we've got more pikes down here on the south of the map. Going to begin sieging away, laying waste to the torps. Knuschelbär definitely in position, going to be moving down. Does he still have that native scout? Let's take a look and see if we can spot it. I don't think he's actually got that native scout anymore. That native scout must have gone down. I didn't see where it went. Probably died to the explorer at some point, but unfortunate. But it obviously paid off incredibly well for him. Knusch now sending in upgrades as well. No unit shipments other than the 9 Reuters coming in either. And so, very, very difficult spot. Walls beginning to come up, so it looks like Knusch is going to begin taking down this villager. Is he going to be able to get it? I don't think he moved all of the skirms into range to be able to take it down, but he does actually manage to get it down. We see the 10 XP going over to the way of the Dutch player. And a bit of a difficult spot here, because this is his only hunt that he's got access to. Every other hunt for Kaister is gone. I mean, the next hunt after this is out here. He's got no real hunts to the north. This is all very susceptible. So he's got to do his best. Culverin's getting a shot off on that falconet. I managed to spot it just at the last second. We take a look and see what's the range. Going to be taking out the second falconet as well. So really, really difficult spot now for Kaister because he's basically lost his... You know, he's got one win condition when it comes down to these battles, and that's those falconets. Those falconets being able to get off really good shots, stay alive as long as they can during the fight. Kaister now heading to the 4th age with the King's Musketeer, so definitely the right choice in this position because obviously his opponent has got those Culverin. But just a really, really impressive job. And now on the top-hand side of the map, we've got Noosh picking up a little bit of a raid with some villagers, and Kaister saying GG, throwing in the towel before he can hit the industrial age. So congratulations to everybody who suspected that Knuschelbär would be able to pull it up over Kaister this round, because you were indeed correct. Let's take a look at the resource count and see exactly how the story went. We see that Knuschelbär was just a mile ahead. Ever since he shipped that 1,000 wood, he was just absolutely ahead. Very, very well played. How many banks did he finish up on? Did he finish up on a 5th bank? Or did he just stay with 4 banks the whole time? I think he's just got 4 banks. Yeah, he's only got 4 banks. He never went in for that 5th bank. But going counter infantry rifling off the 1,000 wood is definitely the way to go. We can see he's got it here. I think that is 100% the play in this matchup. You send 1,000 wood, you drop down an arsenal, and you research counter infantry rifling. I think it's definitely the right play. So great call by Noosh there. We might actually just check the villager count as well, just see how that went. Villager count, yeah, just villagers being lost all the time for Kaister. The story of Sweden: 1 villager lost, 2 villagers lost, 3, 4, 5 villagers lost, 6 villagers lost, 7, 8 villagers lost over the course of the game. No villagers lost for Knuschelbär, so difficult matchup. All right, I'm going to check and see. I've got the second game sent to me, so I'm just going to load that up over here. I'm going to call that one game number 2. I'm going to take a swig of my Red Bull as well. If you don't have a drink on you at the moment, I encourage you, just take a little bit of a timeout. Go and, oh, I just realized I'm showing you guys my downloads right now. Let me just move that off screen. There we go. Actually, can you guys see that? You guys probably can't even see that. Oh yeah, you can't even see that. Never mind. Luckily, there was nothing in there. All right. Congratulations to those who said Noosh would be victorious. Let's jump into the second game. We'll take a look at what the civilizations are. Now, keep in mind, it's Kaister's map pick. Noosh then picks his civilization, and then Kaister chooses the matchup. That's the way it's going to work. Oh, I tried to pause. I missed it. Let me go back. All right, there we go. All right, we're going to reduce the... There we go. Perfect. Are you guys seeing that? It might be when I tab in and out, it's going black. Update the scoreboard? Yes, good call. Thank you very much. All right, that scoreboard has now been updated. Are you in borderless full screen or regular full screen? Borderless full screen. I can't do regular. What was that? Albertarinki? Did he say anything else? Can I check his history in the chat? Hold on, I'm going to have a look at this. He only said one thing in the chat. Damn, dude. That's a yikes. All right. Who will win game 2? Put your bets in right now, ladies and gentlemen. We've got Kaister on the Portuguese. We've got Knuschelbär on the Portuguese. Going to be a bit of a difficult game to cast. I'll say that much. When both players are playing the Portuguese, map picked here is Alaska. All right, we're going to get into this one. I hope you guys are ready. Let's do it. G'day, fellas. Welcome to the second game in the series between Kaister and Knuschelbär. It's a Portuguese mirror on the map, Alaska. Now, you might be wondering, why are we playing on Alaska? Why is there a Portuguese mirror? And the reason why is because Kaister lost the last game, so he picks the map. He says, I want to play Alaska. And Knuschelbär says, that's fine, you want to play Alaska? I'm going to play Portuguese. And then Kaister says, well, okay, I'm going to play Portuguese as well. And so that's how we end up with a Portuguese mirror. Now, Portuguese mirrors are one of those games where they can go either way. You can either have an hour-long Portuguese mirror or you can have a 5-minute Portuguese mirror, because it really comes down to the early game. Who has the better control of the caravels? Who has the better control of the docks? Who gets the better positioning with the town centers? You know, who gets the better treasures in the first stage? And one of the things that we're looking at right now is we've got Knuschelbär already getting an 80 wood treasure. This is huge. This is absolutely huge for Noosh. To be able to pick up a 100 or an 80 wood treasure this early, it's massive. So, going to be grabbing up hunting dogs as well. I'm not sure exactly where he's got the coin from for that. I'd have to check through the chat and see if he picked up a coin treasure. I suspect he probably did. Maybe a 50 coin treasure, a 30 and a 20, something like that. We take a look over at Kaister. Kaister, not so lucky though. He does have that in-base coin treasure, a 40 coin treasure. Actually, let's take a look and see. Do we have... Yeah, no coin taken off this coin mine. So, it's looking sus already, I would say. Look, at this point, my prediction meter at this point is like Knuschelbär, 99%. You know, you got a good start. That's really what it comes down to when you're talking about treasures. Unfortunately, they can mean all the difference in this sort of thing. And then, you know, it can very easily snowball because there's no villager seconds lost other than the villager seconds to create the market. And, you know, he's picked up the 80 wood treasure here, which meant he's still got some wood left over because you've got 100 wood, 200 wood, and then the 280 wood being here, so he can finally get those wood treasures, or those hunting dogs rather, the upgrades. Whereas as Knuschelbär, or rather Kaister, on the other hand, is stuck doing a 10-10, unfortunately. So a little bit more difficult for him, I would say. When it comes to the decks, let's take a look and see what we've got. So we've got deck number 1 called Admin from Kaister. So a very aptly named deck going after the very famous Breeze tagline of at Admin. We've got some interesting cards in here. I'd say Genitors. You've got heavy fortifications as well as the Dragoon combat, which you'd expect to see in every Portuguese deck. Also got the Frigate, the 2 caravels, and the Ship combat. Notable cards that are absent here. Is it Team Improved? What's it called? Team Improved or Team Coastal Defenses? Is that a Portuguese card or is that a Spanish card? Maybe I'm going crazy here. Let's take a look at Noosh's deck and see if we can spot it. Yeah, that's the one. That's the one I'm thinking of. Team Coastal Defenses. So Noosh has got it. Kaister doesn't. So Noosh going for a more economic focused build. If we take a look at Kaister, Kaister going for a 10-10. So Kaister aging up with the Quartermaster, already well and truly aged up. Curious to see how he's going to place it. You can actually see that he's somewhat looking for a place to place his town center. Just doing a little bit of a search with his with his spyglass over here. Actually going past a Nootka clubman, so got to be very, very careful. One of the things that happens on this map, I'm sure you guys will know that the Nootka live here, and the Nootka have got relatively high siege. They're a pretty good cost as well. They're very food heavy. 130 wood here, so Kaister going to be picking that up. So pretty good for Goober, going to be picking that one up. Dock going up now over on the what would I refer to this? Is this a peninsula? Is that how you describe it? A bay, potentially? Yeah, I'd say maybe going in the bay. Going in the north side of the bay and then the south side of the bay over here. We'll call this our bay. But looks like all this villager so close to potentially picking this up. It looks like Kaister is going to be hovering around. 2 headlands and 1 bay, says Harrison. All right. But looks like the Explorer is going to be able to pick this one up without too much of a difficulty. We go over to Knuschelbär's perspective. We see exactly what he's up to. So Noosh definitely looking pretty good. He's going to be dropping down a dock of his own. Hasn't actually scouted out what's happening for Kaister at all, but would undoubtedly have a little bit of an idea. 321, 322. Let's check and see how long until Kaister goes up. Not too long at all. He's going to be up probably in about another 10 seconds. And that dock well and truly up now. So no schooners opening. Oh my god. You know what he's doing? Oh yeah. Okay. I know what he's doing. Take a look at this, ladies and gentlemen. We've got a caravel rush. It's the patented GUA 3 caravel rush that is coming in hot for Kaister right now. He's going to be doing that 10-10, aging up at 340, sending the 2 caravels from the home city, going to be gathering up this wood with his villagers, and going to be getting that caravel in queue straight away. So really, really nice from him. The Nootka Clubman going to be doing its best to assault the local settler. Gonna get chased down by Buttercup. Buttercup gonna do quite a fair bit of damage here. I think at this point, if he just turned around with the Settler, and he'd be able to deal with Buttercup very effectively. 2 Caravels. Now the Caravel's in training. Town center going down. I feel like you could almost take this town center and just place it down over here. And really get aggressive and sort of force that. Keep in mind in the first age that Knusch has sent schooners. He's also got Admiralty in here, sending 2 Vels as the first card. So both players opting for the same opening here. The only difference is that that Knusch actually going to be going for the same thing. So he's gathered up coin. Maybe he market sold some coin potentially. But he's got enough for a Caravel, assuming that he picks up these 400 wood. Knusch, wake up, my friend. Oh no, Knusch. Knusch, wake up. You don't have your Vels in queue. He's now got his Caravel in queue. Sending 2 from the home city. It's got another 20 seconds before it gets in. So he's still going to have a bit of time before his dock goes down. But it's really going to just come down to the dock. The 3rd Caravel is going to be out. And that is a concerning amount of Caravels because he's got the broadside attack, which is going to be able to deal very effectively with the Caravels when they come in potentially. Town center going up here. You can actually see Knusch has put his town center or his flag up here to the north. He's now changed it back over here down towards the south. Probably going to be losing this dock. I don't think he's going to be able to do any real damage here before this dock actually goes down. Getting a broadside off. First Caravel and second Caravel moving away. So doing the right thing. Ideally, you'd just be moving 1 Caravel back and firing it down because he needs to get this dock down before the second Caravel comes down. Or the first Caravel comes out of it, goes down. So it's going to be a difficult spot right now for Knuschelbär. It all came down to that timing. Remember, we talked about it in the beginning. I'm saying, Knusch, pick up your wood crates, pick up your wood crates. If he'd picked up his wood crates, he would have had his 3rd Caravel right now, and he'd be looking a lot damn hotter than what he is right now because this Caravel's gone down. Second one now going to be focused down potentially by these 2 Caravels, almost full HP. They're going to prevent any kind of dock coming up on this headland just here. Town center is going up. It's a little bit offshore. If we take a look back on the other line, it definitely looks like Knusch is actually going to be losing his Explorer to Goober. Goober going to be going down. This town center, the range on it is just a lot lower. We actually see it is managing to get shots off on this Caravel, so got to be careful here. Dock now going down, and I think that that is a very difficult spot for Knusch, and Knusch knows it. He's now dropping down a dock on the back line with 3 villagers. He's like, oh my god, I'm losing water to Kaister. What is this game? Well, my friend, that is the patented 3 Caravel rush that just happened. Very, very strong Caravel rush. And you know the crazy part is, guys, we're at 5 minutes and 47 seconds in this game. This game isn't even 6 minutes old, and we've got like this much action. Holy moly. So really, really well played so far by Kaister. We'll take a look and see what he's up to. We see Knusch is sending in improved warships. Is Kaister doing the same thing, or has he already sent it in? He's already sent it in. He's 1 step ahead, and it really just comes down to not sending schooners as the first card. He's gone straight into 2 Caravels and improved warships. Going to be taking down that Caravel for free. Manages to get his Caravels out, so really, really great position for him. Very, very strong. Definitely victorious in the early game. He's got those 2 docks up. Going to be able to get a nice, decent boom behind this. We see the town center continuing to get shots on the Caravels just as they sort of skate around the bottom. And outpost now going up for Knusch as well, building it up with 4 settlers. This is the right choice, definitely, because that's going to guarantee him all of these fish back here. Did I see a whale? I thought I saw a whale for a second. But it looks like a couple villagers may get picked off. First villager going down. Second villagers all get inside. He's going to see if he can get that one past. He does actually get it past. Caravel going to be out to meet. So this is going to telegraph to Kaister that, hey, I am still playing water right now. So do not worry. So we take a look from Kaister. Kaister says, oh, okay, you built a new dock. That's fine. I'll continue investing in my water then. Do not worry, friend. 24 villages for Kaister. We take a look at Knusch. Knusch on 13 villages at the moment. So a real difference. Who would have thought coming into a Portuguese mirror on Alaska that Kaister, of all people, would be able to do it? But nonetheless, I'm very, very impressed so far with the way that Kaister has been playing. The 3 Caravel rush definitely looking very, very strong at the moment. Take a look back at Kaister's perspective. He's now centering in the rendering plant. I said it again. I always say that. Centering in the rendering plant. And definitely a great spot for him. He's up to 30 villages now, so he's got a total of 2 docks up. So I think Breeze, I was going to say Braze of Killer, Breeze, aka Age of Killer, is going to be very happy with that. He is a big fan of only 2 docks in Portuguese mirrors. I think in Portuguese mirrors. I'm not sure exactly what the circumstances are, but I often see him commenting saying, this guy's a noob. He made 3 docks. It's like, well, what's wrong with 3 docks, Breeze? And then you get about 16 paragraphs of why there's something wrong with 3 docks. All I know is you just got to make 2 docks, and that's exactly what Kaister's done. So he's definitely been listening to Breeze. And now Kaister beginning to face a little bit of a problem here because Noosh is moving up. He's got the upgraded warships on his caravels. I just want to clarify if you guys are seeing those black flashes or not. I'm seeing them over on my screen, but I think it just might be OBS for whatever reason flashing at me. I'm not sure exactly why it's doing. Probably gonna have to work that one out behind the scenes, but I'm not seeing anything about it in chat, so I'm gonna suspect that we're all good for the most part. So that is a relief. As long as you guys are getting the right experience, that's what matters to me. 700 wood now gonna be coming in as well. No black flashes. That is great to hear. Okay, cool. It's just like my OBS is essentially just going flash, flash, flash on my screen. Like, just the whole program is going black, so not sure exactly why, but yeah, I'll work it out later, don't worry. So we've now got a caravel that's healing up, going to be taking out a couple of fishing boats, or doing its best. Noosh still in a difficult spot, down about 2k score at the moment, so Kaister definitely looking like he's doing well. Getting gang saw upgrades, as well as the Gillnet upgrade. Got a house back here that hasn't actually been commanded to start building yet. He's just dropped it down, said, you know, I'll build this when I'm ready. 2 villagers in the town center. 4 Noosh just shooting down this explorer. Don't really know if it's worth the idle time at the moment. Wood coming in now, 700. 3 caravels moving up for Kaister. Definitely the right choice. Ideally, I'd love to see 2 more caravels coming out from Kaister here and really just, you know, doing a nice push, timing it with the HP upgrade that you can get from the dock. Really just trying his best to go all in. Up to 44 villages now, so really doing a great job of keeping tabs or just of building up his economy, getting long lines in now. We'll take a look at what his next shipment could potentially be. He gets whale oil is what he goes for. He's got 12 villagers on coin at the moment, of which all of them, I believe, are indeed fishing boats. So definitely a great spot here. I'd say that water's actually quite even. We've got 1 whale on both extremities towards the outside of the headland. And then we've got 1, 2, 3 whales in the middle. So a total of 5 whales. So definitely a fair amount of whales in here. 20 fishing boats in total. But yeah, definitely I'd say at this point in the game, it's curious to me that neither player is really going for more than 3 vels. Like, we've actually got a little bit of a push now coming up from Noosh. Looks like he's going to be trying to get his broadside off and just do some damage. He's got the great coat, so it's going to be helping out the villagers or the fishing boats. But now doing his best to push up and try and take control of this headland, the south part of the bay. But Kaister not going to have any of it. Picking off the first villager, deleting the dock as well, just saying, you know what, give it back, give me that wood back. We take a look over at Noosh and see what Noosh is up to. So Noosh is he's sitting on 1 caravel at the moment, and not really more than that. I think Noosh has just said, you know what, I'm not going to go heavy on the water. I'm just going to kind of like semi-invest in it a little bit. Like, you know, not put all my eggs in the basket, just to throw a couple. And I guess the difficult spot for Noosh now is that his opponent has done the opposite. His opponent has sent in whale oil. His opponent has sent in rendering plant. So I like to say sendering the rendering plant. Noosh trying to go for another dock here. Noosh just really doing his best to try and, you know, force Kaister to invest in the water here. We've got another more caravel shots that are going to get onto it. Dock getting cancelled now. There is an outpost going up right here. If we take a look, we'll be able to see it. Going to get out those shots off now. Kaister's ship going to be getting battered down a little bit. And I think that's exactly what Noosh needs to be doing, sort of moving forward with his outpost. The only issue is that he's on 55 villages, Kaister is, and Noosh is only on 39. Now, Noosh is actually sending in Admiralty, which is definitely a wise choice. If I was Noosh at this point, I would really just be going all in on water. I feel like that is my only win condition here. Like, every villager that I've got on land, just get it off onto wood. I would just be market selling all of my food here and only be training caravels. I want to get to 5 caravels, do an Admiralty timing, so that as soon as Admiralty comes in, I research both the attack tech and the health tech, and then I push with 5 vels at the exact same time, pushing into my opponent's base, fully upgraded. You know, the full, 1,400 hit points. Nice little raid here for Kaister as well, pulling ahead 5k score right now. Kaister doing a great job just getting ahead. Impressive stuff. Going to be idling a fair few villages down here on the south as well. We don't see those Admiralty techs just coming in yet. We have a look back at Kaister's perspective. He's going up to the 3rd age. Going to potentially be sending in that frigate when he gets up, undoubtedly. Maybe even training one of his own. So the first units coming out is from this stable here. And Kaister definitely looking like he's in a commanding position at this point. We take a look over at the left-hand side of the base. The left-hand side of the map, rather. And Kaister's still just harassing villages down here. So we don't actually have a military production building out for Knusch just yet. No barracks. No stable. And that's because he's investing all of his wood into the land. Rather, into the water. He's got the ship HP upgrade up to 1,400 hit points now. And going to be pushing out. But he's only got 2 Vels, though. It's not a lot of caravels. The broadsides go off, and it's like... It's just not enough. Like, you've sent Admiralty. Sure, you've got, like, 1 upgrade out of it. Like, wow, cool. But there's nothing meaningful here. Now, Kaister's reached the 3rd age. We take a look from his perspective. He's still got a shipment that's sitting here, but he's looking to even go up to the 4th age now. He's in a great spot, honestly. I don't think from here, like, the percentage meter has swung. Remember at the beginning of the game, I talked about how Knuschelbär was at 99% win chance? Well, that all shifted when the 3 Vel rush came out. And so now it's looking like it's the other way. We see Kaister doubling the score of Knusch. Frigate now coming in as well. Definitely looking like he's thinking about going to the 4th age. Got more than enough resources to do it. Another 500 food, and he's going to be up. And Kaister looking in a commanding lead. Who would have thought? Kaister with the Portuguese? Of all civilizations? Kaister? Gosh. Jeez Louise. 3rd town center going up for Kaister. A little bit of a safe one. Definitely the right choice. Towards the late game, what you want to be looking to do with Portugal is sort of wall up along this south side. So walling up across in between here. Wall up around like that. And then keeping all of your villages in this quadrant here. And that's exactly what this town center is going to be enabling him to do as he looks to transition into the late game. Difficult spot for Kaister. We actually see that, or for Knusch rather. Kaister now heading up to the 4th age as well. So, oh gosh, this is tough. Frigate now coming in. We take a look over at Knusch. We see what he's up to. Knusch not even able to send in any sort of. He's sending in 700 coin, and Knusch calling the good game right there. Good game gets called. And Kaister just showing why 10-10 is so strong. 10-10, 3 Vels, impressive stuff from Kaister. All of the lead just, comes from that single moment. He's able to get onto the headland, really establishes dominance, and look at that. That graph is insanity. Wow. Holy shit. Look at that. EGC TV in the chat saying, Kaister's 7 matches against Breeze playing Ports on Water came in a pretty good practice. Yeah, I got to agree. 1 to 4 payout? Oh my lord, dude. That's some impressive stuff, man. Favorite military? 4 caravels. Favorite military? 5 hussars. There you guys go. All right, I'm going to update that scoreboard. Kaister pulling ahead with or tying it up with 1-1. Now the next choice of map is going to be Knusch's choice. Now I might do a quick restart just because we've watched 2 games, so we are going to go into the 3rd game now. So don't go anywhere. 10-10 is such cancer. True, honestly true. I hate it. You literally start the game like 60 seconds before anybody else does. It's so stupid. Maybe not 60 seconds, but like 40 seconds. Card Love Joe saying, was away 10 minutes and then this. Which civ did Knusch pick in the first game? He picked the Dutch. Played against the Swedish. All right. There you guys go. Now you should be able to see. All right, so that was game 2. I've got game 3 sent to me. The games are coming in 1 by 1. It's so fucking cool, guys. Oh, I love this. It's so cool. The games are literally getting sent into me 1 by 1. Like, these games are getting played as we are speaking right now. All right, I'm going to drop game number 3 in. I've retitled it as well. So you guys should be able to see game number 3. There it is. All right, let's take a look and see. I'm going to pause the game for you guys. Oh, we're zoomed in. Knusch, why are we zoomed in so far? What are you doing to me, Knusch? All right, so I am going to fix up my UI. And you guys are going to get your bets in. because we have got Japan up against Sweden. A bit of a... This is another one of those matchups that I'm a big fan of. I love these sorts of matchups. These are very close, in my opinion, until it gets to the fourth stage, in which case it's just over completely. All right, let me fix that up. All right. Kaister should get $20 for beating Noosh in a port mirror on water. True, true. All right, let me get those predictions up for you guys. We're going to start those predictions. Who will win? Kaister, Noosh, you've got 2 minutes. Make your minds up. Confirm prediction. Oh, someone else has done it for me. Thank you. Thank you very much to the kind moderator who put that one up. I'll be able to tell you who actually did it. Give me a sec. Actually, I can't tell you. I don't know who did it. It remains a mystery. Tell us. I suspect it was G or J, but I don't know. I don't know. We've also got Harrison in here as well. I've actually... Oh, EGC TV saying, it was me! G or J saying, it wasn't me. Someone's just given me a great suggestion here. I'm going to try and pronounce their name as best I can. Rachna. Rachna has said, if you've got black flickers on your screen after upgrading to 4K, it might be your cable. I recently upgraded to ultra-wide and used an old display cable port, or display port cable. I got a newer model certified and no problem since. That makes perfect sense. All right, I'm going to just... Give me a second, guys. I'm just going to go quickly try and plug in the cables on the back of my monitor, because sometimes it can be a little bit fiddly. Maybe that's what's fucking me up. Give me a sec. All right, hopefully that's working. Thank you very, very much. That's a great suggestion, Rachna. All right, are you guys ready to jump into this game? We're heading into game number 3 between Kaister and Knusch. Let's do it. Oh, that just... Big black flash on my screen. I'm watching the stream right now. I'm just going to see if I can spot that. Like, it's so big. It's like... Pow! I don't see it. All right, cool. I don't know why it's doing that. You know what? I'm just going to close down. I just closed OBS. Like, I minimized it so I can't see it. That way I don't see the flashing anymore. I could probably even just move the stream over to here so I can see if it has that little black flashing. There we go. There you go. Now that's going to make me feel a lot better. All right. That makes me feel good. Let's get to it. G'day, fellas. Welcome to the 3rd game in the series between Knuschelbär and Kaister. In this series, we're playing in the Global Championship for a total prize pool of $5,000. Spawning in the south of the map is Knuschelbär playing the Japanese and his opponent, Kaister, spawning in the north of the map on the Swedes. Now, this map is a particularly good map for Sweden. This is Kamchatka. It's favorable for Sweden primarily because of the coin mine positioning. So it's got lovely coin mines up towards the north of the map. It's got beautiful coin mines down towards the south of the map. So really, really nice stuff for the Swedish player. It's also got some coin mines in the middle if you're into that sort of thing. Take a look at the goats that are getting picked up. So Kaister doing a great job of just grabbing those early little goats. We'll see if Knuschelbär realizes what's happened. I don't think he has, so he's not going to be able to chase those down. And Kaister grabbing more goats down to the south. Kaister looking absolutely dominant at the beginning. The win... I need, like, the win meter. Like, in my mind, like, right now, the win meter has just, like, gone over to, like, Kaister by a mile. As long as he gets these goats out, I think he's going to be able to. He's keeping... Oh, keep it close. Keep the... Oh, it's going to... Oh, no, he lost one. He lost one. He lost one. I don't think we're going to see Noosh delete that. You got to be so careful. Honestly, you just put him in hold position. Like, when they start to do that, just everyone stand still. Everyone don't move. Like, just leave it. Just leave it. But he could potentially get this goat back, but I think that Noosh would just delete it if it ever got to that point. So Noosh is not the kind of player to let his opponent get a goat that early. And oh my god, picking up a second goat being so cheeky, Noosh. Oh my god. All right, that meter that I was talking about before where we had Kaister, you know, being very high up on the win percent, we've now, you know, it's evened out a little bit. Going to be able to pick up this 75 food treasure, but it's going to be offset by the 45 food treasure that that Knusch is going to be picking up as well. So we talk a little bit about this matchup. So in this matchup, we've got Sweden, we've got Japan. So Sweden, obviously a civilization that's very, very close to my heart. One that I am intimately familiar with, and especially this matchup as well. So I think that this matchup is relatively even throughout the early game. And I think as long as the Japanese player plays it correctly, that it is still relatively even towards the late game. But I would say that it is definitely a difficult matchup for both players. Oh my gosh, he's got 3 goats down here. Look at this. This is a gold mine right here. Maybe not a gold mine. Maybe it's more of like a farm. Maybe that's probably the best thing to say, like a farmer's market. I think he really wants to force him to delete these. He's saying if you want to keep these, you're gonna have to delete them. Like if I'm him right now, I would just be following this explorer and just really like force him to delete, or at least like try and snare. Problem is, as soon as you try and snare this, that the goats are going to block your pathway, so your snare doesn't get through. So I think he's just going to give that up. So what I would expect to see in this situation, so we've got Knusch doing the right thing. So he's going to be opening with a Heavenly Kami. So there's 2 ways that Knusch can play this. The first way is the way that I would go for, and that's like an Age 2 timing attack. I think an Age 2 Ashigaru timing attack is really, really strong against Sweden. You're able to take down the barracks, take out the town center, take out the shipment point, take out the majority of the starting torps, the starting area. Like, you would definitely steamroll the base, 100%. The question is whether the cockroach is going to be able to live long enough for it to actually, you know, escape under the fridge and build a family, and then all of a sudden now you're dealing with a family of 57 cockroaches that have all got Svi Lifeguard. And that, my friend, is really not some fun stuff. So now going to be putting up his age up in queue, going up to the Naturalist at 2 minutes 45. A really good age up time here for Kaister. I hope that we're going to see some more torps out of him this game. Ideally, what I'd love to see is a villager just going straight down the middle of the map. Once again, I've got that blue on my monitor right here, or like, I don't know if you guys are seeing this. I'm checking on the stream. I'm just looking. All this area right here is blue in the panel. It's like it goes up here and then down like that. I almost want to record it, really. Give me a second, guys. I'm just going to pop that out. I'm going to talk a little bit more about this matchup as well. So when it comes to this matchup, I think one of the interesting things is that you've got this kind of dynamic in the early game where the Sweden player typically is a little bit behind, and then it goes over to Sweden being a bit more even in the third age rather, and then in the 4th age, Sweden coming ahead. So Japan ideally wants to stop that from happening. And so I think, oh gosh, Kaister, but you got to be careful down here. Kaister down to 25 HP. He's going to be able to get his Explorer out though. We'll take a look over at Knuschelbär. Let's have a look at his deck, see exactly what he's got. He's only dropping down the Toshogu Shrine right now. So he's got, in Age 1, we've got the Enlist Irregulars. We've also got the Shogun, as well as 16 Yumis. Oh, okay, yeah, this deck is perfect. He's only got the 1 upgrade for the one upgrade for the Nagis. I think that's not for the Nagis, rather for the not the Yamabushis, the Yabusamis. The Yabusamis. Okay, I got it. I got it eventually. Don't worry, guys. So it doesn't have both of them in there, which I think is still fine. But he's got all the important upgrades in here. So he's got, like, you can tell by the fact that he's got 16 Yumis that he's going to be playing around Yumis. He's going to be thinking more about Yumis. He really wants to be, you know, his army is going to be Yumi, and I think that is really what you need to be doing in this matchup. I think ideally you want to be opening up with Ashigaru. Ashigaru are going to enable you to really put out early siege onto your opponent, and then the Yumi are going to allow you to actually kill the Karolians once they get upgraded. I'm going to speed that replay up. Just hopefully it starts ticking a little bit faster for you guys. We've got some nice shrines out on the map. We can see that Knusch is actually shrining on top of the coin mines. Really, really smart move, because this blocks your enemy's shrines, or your enemy's torps. So let's say Kaister comes down here, torps here, torps here, torps here. He can put 3 torps on here at max. That's it. This is my go-to shrine, though. Like, I want to be torping here so badly. Or my go-to coin mine, rather. Take a look at all these goats as well. 7 goats for the Japanese player. Knusch is definitely in a good spot right now, I would say. He's got Portuguese Consulate Market going up to Shogu Shrine, about to pop, 4 minutes 50. Relatively good time for Japan. It's always a little bit hard getting those early age ups in. First shipment going to be 600 wood, I'm suspecting. It is the 600 wood. Probably going to be following it up. Typical Knusch style, 4 vills back to back. And then from there we might see a daimyo potentially coming out on the map. Or maybe 4 vills into daimyo. We'll have to see exactly how he decides to play it. Now dropping the shrine down, being very, very cheeky. right next, or right where the next torp wanted to go down. So very, very nice. And beginning to scout up to the north of the map. Now, he'll know that there's no torps here because there's no green circle on the coin mine. If you spot that green circle, you can be definitely sure that there are torps out on the map. We'll take a look over at Kaister. We'll see what Kaister's up to. Kaister doing a bit of scouting. Got those torps going up. I love that shrine there. It's like, one of us is not the same. You know, one of us is not like the other. Which one here is not like the other? It is actually pulling these animals in, though, so that's probably going to help out Kaister in the end. It's definitely, you know, I would say right now it's a different spot. He's up to 100 torp pop, and he's doing a lot better than he was in game 1. At this point in game 1, actually, I'm not too sure where he was in this point in game 1, but in game 1, he was sitting on 120 torp pop at 8 minutes. So it was definitely a difficult spot. 3 torps in base, definitely a lot better than what he was doing before, where he had torps on multiple mines. So I feel like he's been listening to my my feedback as we've gone through. So putting 3 torps on this single coin mine at the front, it's going to allow all of these 3 torps to gather up this single cow. We're going to take a look at his deck and see exactly what he's got in as well. Very typical deck, same deck that he used in the first game. So 4 coin mines or 4 copper mines is the only real outlier here that we don't always see. I know it's been getting a fair bit of play as well. We don't actually have the age 2 HP card for melee infantry and melee HP. I think that might be a little bit too far away from the coin mine. Let's see if it manages to pick up the coin. It doesn't. So a little bit, you got to be so careful with your torps. But we can now see that this torp is essentially, you know, you could have just put this torp here, you could have put it there, you could have just put it anywhere, because it's just a little bit too far away. And that really comes down to planning for this. So, like, as an example, if I was going to be putting down my torps here, I'd be putting my first torp down here up against this wall, because I know I'm going to have difficulty otherwise. But I don't think he's going to be able to fit a torp in there now, unfortunately. A little bit of pathing issues as well. And Kaiser doing the right thing. So sending his Corollians off into different areas or different groups on the map on different angles. And that's exactly what he needs to be doing. Sieging south, sieging north. Really, really good stuff. Love to see it from him. Torping up down here towards the south. Probably going to continue moving onto this coin mine, hopefully. Where's that next villager going? I don't actually see a waypoint for it. Oh, it's going back over here. I'm not sure exactly. He might be going over to push a hunt a little bit closer. But doing a good job nonetheless. Really playing very well this game. 160 torp pop, looking great. He's got 1 more torp that he can be putting up right now. So that's going to give us a total of 16 torps. Really, really nice number here from Kaister. Very, very well played. I like this build order a lot. It's definitely looking a lot better than his game 1 build order. Now, Noosh going for the Fast Fortress build order. So this was the second build order that I was thinking about. So I did mention in the early game that Noosh has really got like 2 options against Sweden. The first one is like the Ashigaru all-in, which is what I'd like to do. The second build order is this build order here, where he plays early economy, so gets a huge amount of shrines up. You can see he's on 170 population at the moment, so he's got a total of 16 shrines out on the map that are going up. And he's going up to the Fortress Age at a very competitive time. So sending through the 4 villages, followed by the 600 coin after that 600 wood coming in first. So very, very nice shipments. Going to continue having torps, or shrines rather, siege down across the map. Kaister doing a great job of macroing towards his age up as well. A little bit of miss macro, 200 versus 100 to go. So, you know, not perfect stuff, but, you know, we can't really fault him for that. It can be a bit hard when you've got the resource income that Sweden's got, you know, just got a little bit too much extra resource. Now heading into that transition period, let's see what he does, as that'll give us a bit of insight as to what his plans are. So the fact that he's on wood and food indicates to me that he's probably going to be looking to max out his torps, drop down a second racks, potentially get the veterancy upgrade as well, and then look to go to the 4th age. And the reason why we know he's going to the 4th age is because he's got the 11 villages that are still on food. Typically, you wouldn't need any villagers on food at this point, because your blueberries are more than enough to give you like double batches of Corollians. So you could be like, if you wanted to be fully on wood, you could be fully on wood. It's a stupid civilization. I agree. So I would say at this point, though, you might want to be calling it for the Swedish player. It's important to remember that when it comes to the way that the Japanese player times their attacks, that there is a window here for Knuschelbär to potentially you know, have some real damage here. We take a look at the first card getting sent in now. Going to be the Snaplock card getting sent in for Kaister. Some torps, plenty of torps still up right now around the map. I mean, we've got this coin mine here that's just not even being used to torp. Barracks going up as well. We don't have that veterancy coming out just yet. That'll probably be the next thing that happens. I suspect that we might even see this one cancelled. Actually, we're not going to see that because he's dropping down a Torp. Ideally, I would have loved this Torp to be one of the first Torps that he put down, but now going to be moving forward. Gets the charge out for the Corollians. Corollians doing their best to try and get all into alignment. Looks like he's going to be doing a little bit of a pull here. Trying to get all of his units in together. Probably going to be losing a potential amount of these. Japanese Explorer going in. Now, keep in mind, Japanese Explorers don't snare in melee. So, doesn't really help that the Japanese Explorers like just coming up. It's, if anything, it's just like, oh yeah, just, you know, spend some resources on shooting this. But now we've got a little bit of a sizable force. We've got the Discipline Ashigaru that has just happened. We've also got the Daimyo, so 8 Ashigaru undoubtedly being sent from the home city. We got the 2 Flaming Arrows as well, so we did see those 8 Ashigaru Musketeers being sent in. We take a look back at Kaister's perspective. He's got the veteran Corollians that are on the way and looking towards that macro for the 3rd age. He's got to be careful here. So he's got that snap lock, so definitely going to be in a great position. I think that was the right choice when it came to cards. Snap lock, definitely a great opening card in this matchup. And we take a look now. Kaister definitely, I'd say he's, at the moment, it's a little bit like unknown about how the positions are. Kaister probably a bit ahead just from the fact that he's able to Torp them uncontested. But, I mean, Japan's still got 16 shrines up, so it's not like there's nothing going for Japan as well. Like, Japan is still very heavy on the eco. Flaming Arrows now coming out. So difficult. These are difficult for Sweden to handle because Sweden's only got a couple of options when it comes to this. You can't ship 2 Falcons. 2 Falcons isn't going to work here. You can send 1,000 coin. You can train your own Culverin to deal with it. That's probably your best bet. But if you do that, you're going to be delaying your 4th age. So your best bet is to probably just try and get 4th age and send Mamelukes. And that seems kind of crazy, but that's just the way it is. And it's why this Japanese timing push actually can really work against Sweden. We see that even more Ashigaru coming in now, so we've got 8 Ashigarus coming in. Now keep in mind, these shrines are on coin, so they are gathering at 1 or 2/3 rather. Oh, actually that one isn't. That's because it's got a... there we go. So it's gathering at 4/5 of a villager. So if we've got 16 of these guys, you can assume that roughly it's equivalent to about 13 villagers, and compare that over to a Torp. So at the moment we've got how many Torps? We've got 17 Torps down on the field, and we'd say that a Torp is probably worth about 1.5 villages there, maybe pushing close to 2 villages. Depends if you've got steel traps. Do you have steel traps? No, you don't. We'll call it 1.5 then. So that's a lot of villages difference right now. That you're talking about the difference between 13 villages and 30 villages. That's a fair amount. So Torp's definitely pulling ahead here. I think it's one of the reasons why I think in this matchup it's important that you put on early pressure. We got some Yabusamis coming out as well. I'm not really sure why the Yabs have actually come out. I'm just thinking about Nush and like his perspective, because maybe it's for potential Culverins. Maybe he thinks Culvs might come out from Kaister, but I mean, he should know that Kaister isn't the kind of guy to go for Culverins. If anything, Kaister's the kind of guy to just brute force Flaming Arrows down. We'll take a look over at Kaister, though. We'll see if he's got any artillery foundry going up right now. It's a barracks. I thought it was an artillery foundry. I got really excited because, you know, I've said before, Kaister's not the kind of guy to make an artillery foundry. I'd hate to be proven wrong. But now going to be just training up his veteran Corollians here. I'd love to really see him focus on getting up to the 2nd age, or to the 4th age, rather. Blackberries still hasn't been sent from the home city. He's on 180 Torp Pop, though, so doing really well. This is a bit of a window right here for Knusch, and he's got to be careful because this is the 3rd game, and this is a somewhat a tipping point, I would say, that, you know, if Knusch gets a win here, this is like, you move on to the 4th map, and Knusch has probably got a plan for the 4th map, so you've got to be careful. 4 Flaming Arrows out now, and this is, I mentioned this earlier, the 2 Falconets isn't going to be an appropriate response to this because the Flaming Arrows absolutely destroy them. They get a huge bonus up against artillery if they've got that longer range. So it means that they're able to deal with them. So the Yabusami, I'm still a bit confused about why we've got Yabs out. Still no more Yabs being trained. And it looks like he's got to do his best to come back and cover these. If these guys get off a charge, he's got to be really careful with the Flaming Arrows. Flaming Arrows probably going to get eaten up here. More Ashi coming in, though. As long as these Ashi move into melee, he's going to be okay. But this actually looks like it's going to be a cleanup in the favor of the Japanese player. First, Flaming Arrow going to be going down. The Daimyo's gone down on the back line. Oh, no, the Daimyo's just moved back. I apologize. Flaming Arrow's taking the Ashigaru to the face. Second, Flaming Arrow going to be going down. Third one getting focused down on the back line. And 4th, Flaming Arrow also going to be taken out as well. So I said earlier that he's more of the kind of guy who's just going to brute force that down, and that's exactly what we see here. Falconets on the back are actually going to be doing work as well, because now we don't have any Flaming Arrows to deal with these Falconets, and impressive hold from Kaister. I didn't expect that. Flaming Arrows just obviously not doing particularly well. I don't think that Nush really covered his Flaming Arrows as well as he should have. Ideally, you need to have one or two of your Ashigaru up in melee, just snaring the Corollians as a group, and then trying your best to continue kiting back. That's really the best way to deal with it, but it can be very difficult. And, you know, Nush is no slouch when it comes to micro. So, you know, when I'm talking about that, you know, this is one of the best players in the world right here, and he's having a difficult time microing it. So, you know, I'm going to hate to see what happens when the Culverin come out, because undoubtedly, if there are any more Flaming Arrows that get called out onto the field, Kaister will not hesitate in going towards those Culverin. We see that Kaister's beginning to pull ahead on score as well, about 1,200 points up. So a decent lead for him as well, considering that he is the Swedish player. Now a couple of Ashigaru on the back line are catching out some Corollians. It looks like the Corollians at the front are going to be getting a snare off, and that means that we've got a bit of an even trade now. The Falconet getting off a shot, the ball rolling through, and more Ashigaru are going to be going down. I would say that's almost a trade in favor right now of Kaister. He's managed to pick up a couple of these, and now we've got the Yabs coming out in response for Nush, so I think this is a wise choice. This is where I think Nush needs to move in towards that Yuumi, and that's exactly what he's doing. So going to be getting the Yuumi archers. Ideally, should have, like, now that the push is over, and now that we enter into this sort of phase of the game where it's kind of like macro versus macro, it's a bit more difficult. You're going to be focusing more on massing up the units. I feel like even 7 Vils here wouldn't be a bad choice. One of the shipments that he sent through was this shipment here, Ashigaru Musketeer hit points. So it increases the hit points by 15%. Also increases the damage that they do in melee combat against cavalry. To be honest, I think that was a bit of a waste of a card. I think he probably should have sent something like 7 villagers there, or even 9 Yuumi. Would have been really, really strong. So I feel like at this point in the game, you're not going to be making Ashigaru like a lot of Ashigaru. It's basically just going to be Ashigaru to stop the Mams. But now we've got some Yabs on the bottom side, picking up these Falconets. Going to be able to get at least one of them. Looks like the Yab's potentially going to go down. One Yab going to go down. Second Yab probably going to go down here as well. Second Yab going down. But both of the Falconets being taken out. So definitely not a bad spot. Now, just to make sure you guys aren't able to see this, and if you guys aren't able to see this blue line that I'm talking about right here, then it means I might have a problem with my monitor. So I'm going to have to just take a photo of that just to make sure, work that one out, because very noticeable for me, but not noticeable for you guys. So that's a good thing. But definitely 2 Yabusamis for 2 Falconets is a great trade. We now see Way of the Bow coming in, which is the correct decision. I would have loved to have seen 7 villagers as well potentially come in. I think that Nush is the kind of player that can get away with it. He loves to be greedy. And look at this is infuriating, man. Can you imagine how long it takes for 2 Ordnance Bastiros to kill a Torp? Look at this, man. Kaister's been under attack on this Torp for years, dude, and it finally goes down. Now they're moving on. No, don't split your fire. Okay, thank God they're not splitting their fire. Now going to begin sieging down the Torps in the middle of the map. There's a couple of villages out here as well, potentially going to go down. So picking up 2 free villages there, Knuschelbär is, and Explorer also going to go down on the back line. So just doing a bit of scouting itself. Finally, these Bastiros going to be going down. We take a look at Kaister. Kaister going up to the 4th age, so doing the right thing. Now, I think that in this position, Nush needs to be thinking about the 4th age, but it's a bit more reactionary when Nush does it. So he needs to be getting up to that mass of about maybe 40, 50 Yuumi, and then potentially thinking about aging up. I want to see a lot of walls out from him as well. It's going to be really tough to hold the Mam push, because the Mam push is going to be coming eventually. We finally now see some Yamabushis coming out as well. Going to begin sieging down these Torps on the bottom side of the map. Yab's just chasing around the Explorer, just slowly just hitting out their arrows. Take a look at their beautiful bows. Aren't they just awesome? And taking out that Explorer finally. Training 3 Rax Corollians now, so doing a great job of just demonstrating the lane. And we'll take a look at the old runaround, says Kaister. He's giving him the old runaround. That's it. The old runaround. And just doing his best. I'm not sure exactly what he's talking about when it comes to the old runaround, because there's no real runaround that's happening right now. It's really Kaister just waiting. Okay, I say that, but never mind. The old runaround. The old runaround. So he's actually donating Ashigaru here. How many Ashigaru has he got? He's got 14 Ashigaru here. So he really wants to be keeping all the Ashigaru that he can. Because with Sweden going age 4, he needs to be cognizant of the fact that Sweden is going to be sending in MAMs. Yabs don't particularly deal with MAMs very well. They've got a nice multiplier against them, but Mamelukes have got a 40% range resist. Whereas these bad boys, we take a look how much damage the Ashigaru do. They do a 4.5 melee multiplier with 13 times. I'm just going to do some quick math here. That's a lot. That's a lot of points of damage that they're putting out right now onto MAMs. And it's one of those things where it's like you really need to be aware of that, and giving away those sort of those Ashi for free, it kind of hurts. 27 Yumi out now. A couple of them getting picked up over on the front line here. I'd say Kaister's almost pushing out a little bit preemptively here. He's got to be careful not to get himself caught. I don't think he's going to be in a position to really do that. 9 Yumi going to be coming in as well. Not the shipment that Knuschelbär wants. At this point, you really want to avoid sending in unit shipments unless it's something really big like 16 Yumi. 9 Yumi is a bit of a difficult spot, I would say. I'd say that this is almost a reach for Knuschelbär. So going to be pushing out. Kaister now reaching that 4th age. Guard Corollians improvement complete. I'm not sure exactly why I can see that, considering I'm watching the Japanese player, but nonetheless, it's good to know that the Guard Corollian improvement has been completed. We can see that now. I suspect we're probably going to be seeing Svi Lifeguard. There it is. Svi Lifeguard coming in right on time. So Kaister definitely hitting that GG button. It looks like he's going to be pushing now with, you know, just the casual 46 Corollians there, 26 Corollians here. You know, he's got no more Corollians coming out just yet. Oh, I say that, but we got 10 more Corollians that are about to come out at the back. Going to be sending a factory here as well. To be honest, I'd just be market selling at this point. You know, call in MAMs and just, you know, hit your double GG buttons at this point. So, you know, it's pretty decent, I would say. This Corollian mass is really, really quite big. We'll take a look at Knusch and see if he's thinking about aging. Doesn't really look like he's in a position to do that. Definitely needs to be walling at this point, I would say. Ideally, you want to be walling just so that you can keep your Yumi safe, because you've only got 30 Yumi. You need to be making sure that your Ashi are down here, because if a charge happens, you're going to be in a difficult spot. The Yumi actually managing to repel the Corollians. He says, you know what? I'm not too interested in dealing with those Yumi today. I'm just going to go back, but God, look how tanky they are. Look, the Yumi bows just barely scratch them, don't they? Just, how many hits does it take? Like 10 hits? Couple of Corollians getting into melee, just forcing those Ashigaru back, and I definitely feel like Kaister has got the upper hand at this point. Robber Barons has now been sent from the home city, making sure that we get alerted from that. So Kaister going to be sending that one in. But we've got more Bastiroys at the back here as well with 5 Concha. So doing a pretty good job of like just rounding up. We take a look actually from the perspective of Knusch. He's done a great job of just keeping line of sight on everything. So doing a really good job of just sort of like cleaning it up. We've got the Daimyo down here going to be murdering some villagers, or at least trying to before the Corollians get to it. Daimyo managing to get away with its life. Couple Yumi getting donated over to Kaister. And really great job of just cleaning these up. We take a look over at Kaister, and yeah, we just see that his top pop is beginning to dwindle. Line of sight on the map beginning to lessen. And as long as, like, honestly at this point, okay, as long as Knusch runs him around, Knusch wins. That's really what it comes down to. If Knusch runs him around, he wins. Because Kaister right now is in a difficult spot. Because he's losing torps. He doesn't have anywhere he can re-torp. He doesn't have any torps in his base. I mean, he could send 4 copper mines from the home city, I guess. You know, send one here, put one down here, one here, one here, make a whole bunch of torps. I guess that could work. But, you know, you're going to lose a lot of tempo from doing that. But, I mean, like, at this point, Kaister just needs to right-click Knusch's base. And he hasn't done that yet. I don't know why exactly he's responding to this kind of stuff. Like, you can even see that he's heading over here with the units. And this is exactly what Knusch needs to be doing. We see that the scores are beginning to open up. About 2.5k score lead for Kaister. But, you know, Knusch is definitely, I would say, at this point, doing the right thing. I feel like this potentially isn't the right thing. Intervention. I mean, he's going to know that MAMs could potentially be on the way, and sending this is kind of preempting that. So I do think it makes sense to have it in here. And we can see that Knusch is actually really sticking to age 3. He's saying, you know what, I'm just staying in age 3. Never sent 7 vills in. He's only got 46 vills of his own. If we do a little bit of a stock take, we've got 15 torps, so we'll call that 25 villages. And a total of 31. So we'll call it 56 villages at the moment. He's also got a factory that just went up. So call that 10 villages. So we're up to what? What's that? 65 villages for the Swedish player. 47 at a base. And then we've got 15 shrines and the big shrine as well. So we'll call that a total of 17. So what's that roughly about? Well, these are on food. So that's not particularly high, but I mean, you could probably call them close to 1 villager each if they were on wood. So you'd be looking maybe close to a relatively even economy, 64 villagers, maybe a little bit less than that, 63, 62, something like that. So definitely economy is looking relatively even. Keep in mind that obviously we've got the factory in for Kaister, and he's lost a fair bit of torps as well. Probably doing his best to try and get those torps back up. I think he's actually retorped these ones back up. Yeah, these torps are relatively new. So yeah, doing a pretty good job. So now doing the right thing. So he needs to just right-click the base of Knusch. This is what he needs to do. So he needs to right-click this base. So good that he's doing that. The problem is that if Knusch just repels him with Yuumi archers, there's really not a lot he can do because, you know, Knusch is going to have Way of the Bow. We checked, Knusch doesn't actually have the damage increase yet, but he's got the Daimyo, so the Daimyo is going to be providing a fair bit of assistance when it comes to increasing the attack. We see that he's actually cleaning up this down to the south, but like at this point, Kaister just needs to be sieging. Like, just bring him here, bring him over, fight. Getting a nice little bit of a raid here to the north as well, picking off a couple of villages. I don't know how many that was. If we have a look on the ground, we see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 villagers on the ground. Their bodies, unfortunately, laid to bed. And more Corollians now moving through, doing the right thing. This is part of the consequence of not aging up with the Golden Pavilion, is that you can't put your pavilion onto speed to try and chase these bad boys down. More batches now coming out, and Kaister definitely in a bit of a lead here, I would say. But we look at the scores, and Knusch has pulled ahead. Knusch is 1,400 points ahead right now. What's sieging that? Oh, there's a single Corollian up here. So now beginning to siege down torps. It's a little bit too late for that, Kaister. We probably should have been doing that about 10 minutes ago, buddy. What you doing, mate? Yuumi doing the right thing, and this is exactly what we're talking about. So now I want to see Kaister hopefully sending in those MAMs. What else has he sent through? It looks like he sent 2 heavy cannons. Oh, there they are, the MAMs. Okay. He's actually popped at the moment. He's 139 out of 130 pop. So those MAMs are really going to be important in this engagement, but the issue is there are 25 Disciplined Ashigaru, and they've got that upgrade card. Remember, we talked about this earlier. It's the close combat card. If these are all going to go into melee, he's going to be absolutely fine. As long as these Ashigaru don't get huge snares on these Yuumi, he's going to be fine. He needs to get them on into melee. Let's see him move them into... He's trying to do his best to get them in over on top of the MAMs. Needs to bring them around. The Yabs are focusing down these cavalry. We see more Ashigaru on the back line. We did have an intervention shipment as well come in at some point. Where is it? I don't actually see the intervention shipment, but the Yuumi are doing a great job of just microing back 39 Yuumi, the perfect amount right now, and focusing those Yuumi down. He's got more Yuumi coming in from the back line. Plenty of resources in here to be stacking more up, and a huge, massive Corollians right now. Just absolute dominance from Kaister. Really, like, we have seen... there's so many Corollians. That's like 100 Corollians, dude. That is a lot. And so Kaister just doing his best to get on the heels of Knusch. We take a look over at Kaister's perspective. We don't see any more Mamelukes coming in at this point. And Knusch definitely probably going to be able to hold here, I would say, just because we don't have that charge. And he's just going to be able to continue kiting away. He's going to be able to get those more Yuumi in from over on the side. So doing his best, but I say that, but look at this push that's happening right now. He's got to be careful. This Daimyo is probably training. It was probably training some units, but why are there no units being trained? Okay, finally getting some Ashigaru in Cubit. You don't particularly have a lot of coin. Needs to be almost sacking these Yams, but at the same time, he's very aware that there might be more MAMs on the way, and if there's more MAMs on the way, it's going to be a difficult situation for him, but missing out on so many buffs from the Yuumi archers because he decided to go up with the Shogunate here. So instead of going up with the Golden Pavilion, it means that he hasn't stayed in Age 2 a bit longer. It means that he hasn't had the opportunity to send in Yuumi archer attack. I say that, but he's actually sent it in, but he doesn't have that range attack. Managing to actually hold here. Is this a Knusch hold right now? Is this an FB touchdown Knusch? FB touchdown? Is that what it is? There's the Konshu Yamabushi. I was wondering where these bad boys went to. They weren't dealing with the Mamelukes. They were dealing with the Torps. You naughty boys. More shrines now going up towards the north of the map, so that's probably going to be the next point of contention. But more Corollians coming in. We just see them beginning to stream in. There's so many Corollians, dude. Holy shit. Oh, now, okay. No, that's it. At this point, that is it. Those MAMs, that's the GG right there. The fact that these MAMs are infinite means that there's really nothing now that that Japan can do, unfortunately. The second round of MAMs coming in, and we really just see the overwhelming, potency of the Swedish Corollian and just how suppressive it can be of its opponents. The Mams are going to be able to connect with the Yuumi. They're going to be able to tank a lot of the shots, and a very, very difficult spot for Knusch. So it's one of those things. I'm incredibly impressed with Kaister's play this game. Compared to his Swedish play the first game, his Swedish play this game looked really on point, and I'm very impressed to see that we're probably going to see Knusch resign here, and it's going to be a 2-1 lead for Kaister in this series. He's beginning to clean this up. He's got factories behind this. Keep in mind, he sent the one factory. He's got the church back here, trickling XP. More Corollians coming in as well. And go back over to Knusch's perspective. He's got 45 villages. We've got 14 idols at the moment. He's just, you know, he's sieging these torps down at the north, but I don't know if it's really going to matter when you've got this many Corollians and, you know, Mamelukes just sieging them down. But now finally doing the right thing and putting a wall down. This wall needed to be down. Oh, Knusch, this wall needed to be down 10 minutes ago across here. It would have made all the difference. It would have made all the difference. It just means that the Mams aren't able to connect as easily. But, you know, now we see these walls coming down, but it's just all too late at this point. Your mass is whittled down to 6. You discipline Yuumi, and it just, you know, we've seen the score now begin to open up. There's a 9k score difference. So Sweden definitely looking really good here. Kaister managing to pull out a victory, which I'm sure is going to be only moments away. Knusch at this point is just in a commanding loss of a position. A commanding loss of a position. I think Kaiser's probably in the commanding lead. Rather, we'll take a look back in with him and see what he's up to. He's got another shipment in. Don't do it, Kaister. Don't do it. Don't send the Mams again. Don't send the Mams again. Now, keep in mind, Knuschelbär isn't going to be able to pick Sweden. Kaister picked Sweden, and then Knuschelbär power picked. Actually, no. What did he power pick? Oh no, he's sending in Egyptian Mamelukes. I can't remember exactly what was the power pick for Knuschelbär, but I know that Kaister was able to get away both. I've just realised that Kaister's at 16 villages. Just Sweden things. Just Sweden things. Knuschelbär calling the GG with Kaister on 16 villages. Where are his 16 villages right now? Oh, classic Sweden. Classic Sweden. I need to see, like, the villager graph. Sweden is a perfectly balanced civilization. This is particularly why I don't really like that timing push, that fast fortress that Knusch did. I feel like, you know, he probably could have put a bit more pressure on in the early game. We didn't really see that. We take a look at the, I want to see buildings. Where's the buildings? Here it is. So both players really, you know, sort of hitting their peak very early on. Knusch with that 22 peak, and then Kaister hitting that 20 peak as well. We'll take a look at the military unit population, and yeah, you just see that's Mams right there. So, you know, just boom, and then down, and then Mams is right here. Like, you barely even see a loss for Sweden, but for Japan, it's just completely different. We'll take a look at the resources gathered as well, because even towards the end, we could see that Kaister was slowly petering out, and that Knusch was catching him. That factory definitely helping him out there. And Drongo acting like there's a matchup where they aren't favored. Unfortunately, I don't think that, like, if I was playing as the Japanese player, I wouldn't have played it that way. I would have played it more in H2, really focused on getting a nice mix of Ashigaru and Yuumi before moving on to the third age. But definitely Sweden's in a position that's a little bit stronger at the moment than most would like it to be. All right, well, that is game number, that was game number 3. So I'm going to fix up that scoreboard for you guys. Kaister pulling ahead with the victory. I'm going to be restarting my game right now, just because that was a little bit of a longer game. So we'll make sure that we restart the game, just so that you guys get the best experience. Don't lose that all-important FPS that's so important in the late game, particularly, is what happens. We'll hit that play button now. I'm coming in, don't you worry, guys. Maybe go grab yourself a drink. We've probably got another 60 seconds before we get into the game, so if you've got your legs up at the moment and you're thinking, oh damn, I really could go for a Diet Pepsi, if that's what you drink, go for it. Go grab a Diet Pepsi from the fridge, mate. You got plenty of time. Because I got to grab this next game. We're heading into game number 4 here. I'm going to download it. I'm going to rename it, call it game number 4, so I know what I'm looking for. Okay, I have accidentally hit the wrong button. That's all right. show me in the folder. Game 4. Oh, no, don't you worry. There's Red Bull for me. I was more talking from your perspective, because you're the kind of guy who drinks Diet Pepsi. What's that famous quote Donald Trump said about Diet Coke? Wasn't he like, I never seen a skinny person drink Diet. Something like that. It's like, oh, Donald. And then there's a picture of him drinking Diet. Oh, God. Oh, Donny. Don't do me like that, Donny. All right, we've got game number 4. Hope you guys are ready for this. I'm going to pause the game just as we get into it. Game paused. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, betting will be opened very, very shortly. Let me open the predictions for you guys. We're going to start that prediction. Who will win? Kaister, Noosh, you've got 2 minutes. I understand mods who have voted will not be able to choose the outcome. Got it. Prediction has begun. Who is going to win the 4th game? We've got Kaister. We've got Knuschelbär. You guys can see the matchup on your screen right there. We've got Kaister playing the main squeeze, bringing it out, the big Lakota. Harrison off to bed. All right, Harrison. You have a good night, mate. Isn't that a bit early for you? 18 GMT. It's like 8 o'clock, right, Harrison? Maybe 8:20? Or if you're on British summertime, 9 o'clock, 9:20? I did. Oh, yeah, you cycled. Oh, right, true. You have a good sleep, mate. You deserved it. You deserved it. All right, get your bets in if you haven't already. Who do you think is going to come out victorious in this game? Is it going to be Knusch? Is it going to be Kaister? I was going to say Kaister. Is it Knusch? Is it Kaister? We will find out. All right, let's get to it. Lakota for the win, says Oliver. I like it. I like it. All right, let's get to it. Actually, before we get to it, I gotta hit these buttons. And these buttons. It wouldn't be Age of Empires unless I hit those buttons. All right, let's do it. G'day, fellas. Welcome to a casted game between Kaister and Knuschelbär. This game is part of the Global Championships with a total prize pool of $5,000. We're currently in the round of 8, and this is game 4 in the series. We've got Kaister spawning in on the east of the map, playing the main squeeze, the Lakota, going up against Knuschelbär, who's playing on the Portuguese, spawning in the west of the map. The map is, of course, Colorado. You'll be very familiar with it. This is in the quick search map pool, in the 1v1 map pool. Probably seen it on stream or in another video or other forms of... Oh, excuse me, I'm burping. I've just had a Red Bull. Apologies. In other forms of media. A little bit infamous, I would say, or a little bit well-known just because the camera sits very, very high on this map. Because you've got this ring, this outer ring around the map. This is essentially where your town center should spawn, and there's a... I guess, what do you call this? A cliff that comes off, and you're in a... I wouldn't say a valley necessarily, but you're in a lower part of land, and as a result, it means that the town center spawns closely, or a little bit further away than it should from your monitor, or from your viewpoint, rather. So it means that you're always looking down at things that are very small on this map. So there might be at times in these games where we do zoom in very close. Now, speaking of very close, we've got Knuschelbär, who's calling it very close and going for a 10-10 build order. Going to be getting a 60 food treasure here, so very nice opening for him. Taking a starting trading post, doing a good job of herding around the town center. You can see he's got those 3 bighorn sheep all touching the town center. At least this one's very close to touching the town center. Kaister taming a wolf as well. We'll take a look at his deck. What's the first card he sends in? Is he going to go for an ATP build? Potentially. It is what we could see. I would suspect in the matchup like this, potentially seeing an ATP build. He's going 10-10 though, so he might just save the card, maybe use it for the second age. He's got Spy Straight in the deck, as well as Mamelukes in the third age. So Mamelukes definitely going to be helpful. Going with Economic Theory. I don't know how I feel about this card. This card is essentially, it's like a 1 villager shipment at the moment. And it's just very, very slow. So we probably are going to be seeing a fast fortress. Sorry if I popped you guys there. I gotta be a bit more careful with my pops. Sorry about that. He has actually cancelled it. So yeah, I think that's the right decision. Now sending in ATP. There you go. Okay, I'm happy with this. I'm happy with this. We'll call this one a fair deal, Noosh. So definitely doing the right thing here. Going to be going up with the quartermaster, undoubtedly. 3, 2, 1. There it is. There it is. There it is. There's that quartermaster. There it is. There's the quartermaster. Imagine if it wasn't the quartermaster. If it was like the philosopher prince, I'd be like, what the hell is going on tonight? That makes a lot of sense. So now, going to be transitioning villagers over onto wood. Beginning to take the trading post. So taking this trading post. Going to be taking down this trading post as well. Second or third trading post for him. We'll take a look over at Kaister. We'll see what Kaister's up to. Sending in those 4 villagers. What is going on with this build order? Oh my... You are so cheeky, Kaister. How is this even possible? Okay. Kaister has gone market in age... Is this normal? Is this a normal build? You've gone market in age 1 and hunting dogs and a TP and you're sitting on 16 villagers and you've got... You don't even have 100 food towards your age up yet. But you've stolen the trading post away from the ATP's Portugal. I would almost certainly suspect that Noosh has now cancelled his ATP. Oh, he didn't. He didn't cancel the ATP, boys. We're in for a showdown this game, that's for sure. Because the Portuguese player is relying on getting that third trading post over here, so that they can drop their second trading post, or this one, and then they can take stagecoach. They don't really care if you've got 1 trading post. Like, yeah, you know, I'm still up 2 trading posts. You know, it's a big deal. But if you've got 2 trading posts, well, now we've got a problem. Now, obviously, Noosh can, you know, still deal with this, but it's going to slow him down. Because in the transition period, he really wanted to just go 3 TP, ATP into a fast fortress. We can see the way that he's macroing, that he's looking for that sort of play. Still doesn't have a house up yet, by the way, so probably going to be doing that with his 400 wood from his age up. But obviously not going to be looking for any kind of stagecoach play here because his opponent controls half of the trading line, and it's just really not what you want. Scout now moving down towards the south. Going to be scouting out everything, doing a little bit of spyglassing as well. Lakota Explorer now beginning to move out across the map. Kaister definitely going to be preventing this this covered wagon from going anywhere that he wants it to be going. So we actually see the way that the covered wagon... Oh, you're being so cheeky, Noosh. I like that play. That is very nice. Very smart play from Noosh. So actually putting villagers in the town center. He said, you know what? Go for it, mate. Go for it. Let's see what happens. Spice Trade first card coming up for Knuschelbär in the second age. So going for a more economic play here. Typically, we'd see something like a 700 wood or a 700 coin coming out, potentially to take more trading posts. But obviously, he doesn't really have that option. Looking to place this down in a more aggressive position. Let's see. He does actually get it down without it being blocked. So it did look like he was potentially going to have it blocked. But Kaister giving up on it. Saying, you know what? You have it. That's fine. Kaister now going to be going up with the chief as well. So a bit of a late age up. A 17 villager age up here. But he does have that opening trading post. So really smart to deny that from him. Probably going to be taking this trading post down here to the south as well. Potentially. Maybe not. Who knows? We'll have to see. War hut in base though. This is a curious opening. So we've got the war hut in base going up with the chief as well. So that's 400 wood that he's going to be going up with. I'm sitting back in my chair. I'm like, this is getting interesting now. What is he going to do? I think that he thinks that Noosh will probably go... he's probably going to go 8 crossbows, 6 muskets and like try and take this trading post and then maybe take stagecoach. But I would suspect Noosh is probably just going to go 700 coin. No, he's not. Okay, never mind. I thought he was going to go 700 coin into Fast Fortress and then not bother taking this third trading post. But I think that he's actually going to be contesting it by the 700 wood that he's sending in. Normally, if you weren't going to be contesting it, you would just go 700 coin and then go up to the third age. You could probably get an age up time in at about 7 minutes with the Exiled Prince, I suspect. The Huron Scout actually took damage from the War Hut, but the War Hut has lost sight of the Huron Scout. Now getting uncovered. Does he see stealth? Oh, I didn't realize the Buck or Fang saw stealth. That's cool. I never realized that. And that makes perfect sense though, because they're wolves, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like they're hunting. They're hunting. They're wolves. They see stealth. They know what's going on. I don't know why I was under attack over here. Oh, it was probably Kaister, Noosh rather, who's under attack over here, taking the 95 wood treasure. Doing a little bit more scouting over here as well, just spotting out everything with the spyglass. So doing a pretty good job. Got his 2 villages, or 2 town centers now training villagers. So I'm curious whether we're going to actually see any pressure applied over here. He might just settle in with the ATP. Bit of a suboptimal shipment, I would say. It's a... I don't know if I necessarily agree with ports on this map. I just feel like they're not... I don't feel like you can really commit to anything with Portugal on this map. It's like, you could go ATP, but then if your opponent steals the trading post, well, what do you do then? Or like, you know, obviously you can't go water because there's no ponds here. There's no fish in the sea because there's no sea. You can't really go economic theory. I mean, that's the best thing you've got if you go economic theory. So it's like, it's a bit of a tough map for them, I'd say. I'm curious as to why we saw this. There were a lot of other good picks that he could have gone here. I think like even Japanese here is really quite good. But now Seton Bows beginning to come in. We're at the 6-minute mark, so these aren't particularly early Seton Bows. Seton Bow is going to begin to idle the settlers. Minuteman also going to get called as well. We see a single villager that is getting snared up. Minuteman going to be able to take out the first Seton Bow. Minuteman beginning to move towards the second. Getting a volley off. It looks like the villager is probably going to get inside the town centers. Nusha's got to be careful though. Loses his Explorer. Explorer does go down. He's got Ashigaru. Don't know where they came from. He's got crossbowmen rather that are now coming out of the forward town center. Looks like he's doing his best to try and take out the Lakota war chief, but going to have the speed to get away. Now going to be training some pikes just to do a little bit of defense. More Seton Bows are moving out across the map. So Kaister really sticking to an age 2 play here. A bit curious, I would say. I feel like going age 2 up against the Portuguese is always a little bit of a scary thought, especially with the 2 town centers. It's just like the longer you stay in age 2, well, the longer they could potentially hurt you, just simply because you know, they've got two town centers to boom from, and you've got really, well, you've only got one. Looks like that Explorer might go down. Gosh, he got away with such speed, didn't he? Such haste right there. So really nice, quite a nice trade here. Seton Bow is doing a good job of picking off the pikemen, but on top of that, Noosh has actually moved quite well, using his war chief to kill 3 Minutemen at the same time, losing the speed bonus now, but the pikes are going to be going down to the north. It looks like Seton Bows are doing their best to slowly pick them off. Explorer, where's the Explorer? Explorer is still probably down over here somewhere. More pikes now coming out, so doing a great job of just holding the Axe Riders at bay. And Kaister definitely in a decent spot. We take a look at his deck. His deck's called 1v1 Don. I always love the name 1v1 Don. You just know that something's up when it's called 1v1 Don. So a curious deck name, that's for sure. But he's got cards in here like Great Hunter. He's got 6 and 700 wood. He's got Cav Combat, which you'd expect to see. He's also got the Tushunki Prowler card. So 25% hit point to Tushunki Prowlers, 20% hit points to the Axe Riders as well. I also got the Tushunki upgrade, so Marauders. So I'm sure Fitzbro is going to be very happy to see some Tushunkis. If you're a subscriber to Fitzbro, let me see some Tushunkis in the chat. That's what I like to see. And take a look over at Knuschelbär. We'll see exactly what he's up to. 700 coin coming in now for him, so going to be looking towards that age 3. There's those Tushunkis, Radovan coming in with them. Looking back at his deck, there's nothing really else out of the ordinary. He's got that Janatools card in here. I don't know how I feel about this in 1v1. I guess against Portugal, against the Lakota, it kind of makes sense to have those the Janatools in there, but typically in 1v1 you don't really see it unless it's a water map, I would say. Just other more valuable cards that you could be putting in here potentially. Don't have that infantry combat card. Town Militia now going to be coming in as well. Curious decision, but I guess it does make sense. Kaister now going to be reviving his Explorer up. Pop. There it is. Pop goes the Weasel. Explorer up. He's going to be thinking about a 3rd age play as well. So losing this trading post. So Knuschelbär not going to be losing his full value on that ATP. Going to be aiming to get it back. We see that he's in a position where he's not really able to go for a 3rd trading post here. But nonetheless, and we can actually see that yeah, Kaister is very aware of the fact that the Explorer is going to be low on hit points because he hasn't bought him back and he killed him earlier over here. So he knows he's not going to have much. So he's definitely hunting. Doing a great job with the Explorer. Just keeping it back. We've got the age up in queue now going up with the Exiled Prince as we would expect. Town Militia has been called. So very nice preemptive card, especially for the Portuguese, a civilization that always has access to those 3 town centers in the Fortress Age. Like most civilizations, but they obviously get 2 of them paid for free. We've now got that 700 coin coming in. Going to be gathered up by the villagers. So going to be going up behind this. Now keep in mind he does have the messenger that he can be using to go up. But if we take a look at the deck, he does have interesting cards here that he can bring into play. Things like Great Hunter can work very well with, I think, is it the Wise Woman for the Lakota. I did play the Lakota recently. The one I'm thinking about is the gosh, I can't possibly think. The one that gives you the bison. That's what I'm thinking, but it is the messenger that we're going to see. Yes, indeed it is. Messengers is going to be going up. Spirit medicine also being grabbed. So just in case any more raids come in, potentially. Fortress Age now being reached for Knuschelbär. The Explorer. Oh my god, the Explorer getting coming back up. So looks like it's not going to be paying attention. So getting a double res there, kind of a little bit unfair almost, because the trading post, which is on you know, it's being built, it's still technically counted for the res, and so the Explorer got res back up. Take a look at Knuschelbär. He's training musketeers. Don't normally see this out of Portugal. I'd love to see something like you know, musketeers and castadors. I think it'd be quite a decent combo. But it's something that we really don't see a lot out of Portuguese players, just simply because they are typically always going to be going for the Dragoons. They've got this beautiful Dragoon card in here, 20% hit points, 20% attack, so really effective combat card. Probably one of the most effective combat cards in the game. Actually, is that the most effective combat card in the game? Like, with the exception of maybe like the water combat card? Like, there's warship combat, which is 25%. What else? Is there anything better than that? I think that's the best combat card in the game, man. I can't think of it. Like, maybe China's got something? Like Old Hand, potentially? It's not called Old Hand anymore. What's it called now? The New Dynasty? Something like that. I think it's, yeah, it's still a great spot. So now, obviously, Kaister's reached the third age. Gonna be going for 1,000 wood first. I'd be... Oh, is he gonna do the... Does he have adoption? He doesn't have adoption. Oh my god, okay. Oh, I thought that he was gonna pull out the triple TC into adoption build order. We have seen this before. It's a very, very cool build order. I do like it, but unfortunately no adoption in deck today. So it means that any sort of booming play is going to be restricted to 3 TCs and a fire pit, or rather a community plaza now. I tell you what, I'm looking forward to moving to Age of Empires 4, because then I don't have to keep calling this a community plaza, because I look at it, I'm like, no, you are a fire pit. I dance around you, and there's fire in the middle. You are a fire pit. So, you know what? I'm going to start a hashtag. Let's go back to the original game just so we can go admire the fire pit. The fire pit was so cool. You know, you never bugged out. You know, you never lost villagers into the void with the fire pit. You know, you get to do a cool little dance around it. But I guess it just wasn't culturally sensitive, so I understand why they had to change it. But now we've got a town center that's going to be going up towards the north of the map. It's I was going to say Fitzbro. Oh my gosh, I've got Fitzbro on the mind right now, ladies and gentlemen. Explorer going to be going down for Kaister. Wakinas across the map. There's 8 of them now, beginning to build up. We've got the 15 bison? What? Why 15 bison? This is... Out of all the things you're sending 15 bison. Why? You've got a hunt here. You've got 2 hunts here, okay? We've got like 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. You've got, like, that's 5,000. That's 9,000 food right there. So why? I mean, I know it's a little bit further out. Like, your villas are going to have to walk there, but... I guess you're going to send it at some point in the game, right? Like 15 bison? Does he have infinite 15 bison? He does have infinite 15 bison as well. I don't know. I mean, you're doing a great job in securing this. This is, like, relatively close as well. If I'm you, I'm probably just going to put up a second TC over here and then just call this a day. And then transition, but I guess 15 bison, I mean, it's safe bisons. You don't have to worry too much. You got 36 villages. I mean, if Portugal pushes, maybe he's got a plan. Maybe he's got a plan. I'm curious. Dragoons now finally coming out for the Portuguese player. A little bit of a tough matchup. We do know that Dragoons do quite well against the Portuguese. TP's in the middle, going to be providing a great health boost here for the Wakina Rifles. A little bit of a tough matchup, though. The Wakina Rifles up against the veteran Castadors, but oh no, we've got a problem. The veteran Castadors are going to get entered into melee mode, and I'm sure you guys do know melee mode, veteran Castadors, not a combination you ever want to be seeing, unfortunately. So, needs to be very, very careful with those Castadors, my friends. How many Castadors has he got? He's up to 16 Castadors at the moment. And we've got a total of 11 Musketeers. 10 veteran dragoons. We do a bit of a stock take. We've got 46 villages at the moment for Knuschelbär. 38 villages for Kaister. And you guys see what I see. I see a fertility dance. Oh, yeah. It's happening. It's happening, baby. It's happening. He's got 2 TCs out. Is that the third? No, that's a tribal marketplace. Okay. Thought it was... It kind of looks like a town center. Like, it could very easily be the town center. But Knuschelbär moving out with some pikes. going to be attracting a little bit of attention. So Knusch probably going to be going for a double-pronged attack. I suspect Kaister's going to move up here with all of his infantry. And when he does that, Knusch just moves into the middle, takes out both of these TPs. He's going to be in a good spot. Coming down here to secure this hunt down to the south. So we can see that both players are somewhat happy to call each part of the map their own. So, you know, sometimes in this map, you can see players try and play it like... I will typically, when I'm playing this map, try and secure this area. This is always like the way I go. Try and secure this, come down towards this way. If I'm playing from this perspective, and vice versa. But both players have agreed to one half of the map each. Probably the right decision as well, because obviously this terrain here is impassable, so it means it's much easier to traverse through here than it is to traverse through here. But now we've got Great Hunter coming in, so definitely, if I was going to, like, not predict, but if I was going to do an analysis here, I would say that I do see Kaiser's plan. Kaister. Gosh, did I say Kaiser? Kaister. Kaister. This is not Kaiser, this is Kaister. I do see his plan, and I like it. So he's focusing on his economy. He knows that Knusch is an economic player. So he focuses on his economy, and he's got the fertility dance. He's only doing a slight fertility dance, so it's nothing too crazy. We look at Knusch, though. Knusch is sending in his upgrades. He's got 55 villagers at the moment. Honestly, like, I really feel like Kaister should have just gone ham, dude. It's always tough, though. Trading post coming up as well. Comanche settlement. What's going on here? Both players taking native trading posts. So now we've got the pikes coming up at the top and at the same time attacking in the middle. So, you know, basically forcing Kaister to APM here, saying, all right, come on, do a bit of APM. I'm going to start sieging down your town center at the top. You're going to go send some units up there. Give me a window to attack something. We've got explorers going out on the battlefield. Just both of the explorers. I love it that both... Oh, no, both explorers going down in the middle. I love that both explorers were somewhat, like, very angry at the opposing army. They're like, you attacked my army, and then this explorer is like, no, you attacked my army, and they both walked up to each other. They both crossed swords. God, that's a tongue twister right there. And both of them were shot down in battle. Axe Riders moving towards the north. Just normal Axe Riders, no veterancy on these bad boys, or what's it called? Not veterancy, it's called elite. No elite status yet for these guys. Not like the Wakina Rifles, though. They get automatically upgraded. We've got a single villager out here that's going to get picked up by Kaister. And these pikes do go down. So I'm not sure why these pikes were originally trained. Maybe these were the initial pikes. That's what they were there for, or that's where they're from. We've got halberdiers now as well. 4 halbs coming out. I'm curious what these halbs are for. But Knusch definitely playing a very economic game. 154 population right now compared to that of Kaister, which is on 151. So really not that bad. Both players very, very even at this point. I'm impressed that Kaister's managed to keep up with Portuguese at this point, because if you've heard the song from Fitzbro, he's in his base. He's in his base. Portuguese. And that's really it. Now we've got range cavalry caracol coming in as well. Do we see more upgrades? There's no actual upgrades coming in for... the next upgrades are probably economic upgrades. I would suspect Royal Mint would be the next thing that we potentially see in here. Alternatively, we could have something like MAMs come in, but I don't know how I feel about that. I think Royal Mint's probably the go-to play here. Otherwise, yeah, it's got to be an upgrade. I don't think there's anything else in here that you can really send through. A couple units now getting picked off by the elite bow riders. Let's take a look at the stats and see. We've got 30 ranged attack versus 25. 281 health versus 300 health. 20% range resist versus 30% melee resist. So you can definitely see that when it comes to, you know, a war between these two units and which one you're going to want to be having, you definitely want the Dragoons in that situation because they've got the ranged bonus. Even though we look at the Bow Riders, we actually see that they've got quite a high ranged attack rate of fire, which means that they're going to be firing twice as fast as the Dragoons. At the end of the day, you're still going to want that range resist because you're going to be microing a lot in those fights. You can't be guaranteed that it's always going to be happening. And Kaister now sending in the big boy cavalry combat upgrade. Could be looking for potential timing here. I'd just love to see some Tashunkis coming out from the depths and just crushing the Portuguese army. Knuschelbär now pulling ahead 5k score. I'm not sure exactly what happened that Knusch is up that much score. Sending in 2 organs. So really just investing in this moment, this time, and says, you know what? I am not going to focus on my economy. I'm going to focus purely on the game that's in front of me right now. I need to send in military. We are going to go ham right now, and that's exactly what he's doing. So slowly pushing up with artillery. The question is, how does the Lakota respond to artillery? Because artillery is going to take down TPs very well, obviously. But like, let's say if the Lakota is defending with TPs, he can't really do anything. Like, he doesn't have Culverin. he doesn't have any ranged siege unit. Like, the best he's got are, like, maybe rifle riders. But even then, like, rifle riders come up here. Like, let's say 10 rifle riders. He pulls these forward, these back, these forward, shoots the rifle riders, takes out, like, what, 2 of them? They manage to get, like, a volley off on the organ guns. Maybe they kill the organ... Yeah, maybe they don't. I don't know. Knusch being very, very toxic, though. I like this wall. The aggressive walls like this are really, really good. Especially against Lakota. You need to be doing this, in my opinion. If you fight Lakota in like, an even battle, one-on-one, no walls, like, no pathing issues, you're just gonna die. You're just gonna die, 100%. No 2 ways about it. Curiously, there's no wall in here, and there kind of should be. Why don't we have a wall in here? Or even... Okay, there it goes. All right. Good to see. Good to see that he's putting walls up. Now, there's only 1 villager out here. I feel like you probably want to... making a really nice little pocket for himself in here. Going up to the 4th age as well. Going up with the Tycoon, so 1,000 coin. So he could be potentially looking at making a play for mercantilism. We'll see if he's got a church out yet or whether he's building a church. He's got a church up over here on the back line. So definitely something he could be thinking about. Dropping down the first mill of the game. I'm assuming that Kaister is not yet on mills because he sent in those 15 bison and they're going to be lasting a very long time. Oh my lord, ladies and gentlemen, we have got a timing push if I've ever seen one. Oh my lord, is Kaister going to do it? Oh my god, that is a huge timing push coming out from Kaister right now. Putting all of these bills. He's got 25 bills over dancing right now, doing attack dance. Attack dance begins. He's got 217 population down to 206. The bow riders on the front line are going to begin focusing down the organ guns. Organ guns weren't really in a proper position. We know that behind this Knuschelbär is going to the 4th age, so it really means that this timing is coming at the perfect time for Kaister. He's going to be moving in, making sure that he's able to deal with this. We see an outpost going up. Do we potentially see villagers getting sniped down? We see it. First villager going to get sniped down. Second villager is going to die, but the outpost getting up. It looks like Kaiser's going to be pushing forward. A massive timing now coming through. Melee attack onto the Cazadors, almost getting out of there with just a few hit points left. Wakina rifles also getting in on the action, moving up, pushing up. I want to see some TPs dropped underneath these TCs. That's what I'd love to see, and that's exactly what we've got. We've got Kaiser now with the TPs underneath the TCs. Do we see some CM for the TPs underneath the TCs? Maybe. Who knows? But it definitely looks like... No, we're going to have some siege dance right now. Here comes the siege dance. Here it comes. There it is. There's the siege dance. Siege dance comes in. Age 4 has been reached, but he didn't go up with any organ guns, any dragoons. No, nothing. He's gone up purely with the Tycoon. So he's going to be losing these. Do we potentially see some CMs popping at some point? I feel like if there's a time to pop, right now is the time to pop, because Kaister is definitely in a great position here, despite being down in age. When we've got a big CM pop coming out, first CM pop, he's made a massive mistake in splitting his siege here. Really wanted to just be focusing down one of these town centers and then getting the second one down. Unfortunately, deciding to split up his sieges meant that we still got these town centers that are both firing and they're both being attracted by the damage. But it looks like both of these town centers are going to be going down. The day is going to be called for the town centers. Looks like we've got another pop of colonial militia or just standard militia just coming out now. Second town center probably going to be falling down here. We see the bow riders on the back and more units at the back line getting created. Now, keep in mind, these are going to be attacked by the outposts. They're going to be very annoying as they constantly get picked up. This town center is potentially going to be going down. No siege dance yet, so I think because CM's been called and heavy cannons coming out for Knuschelbär. Knuschelbär doing a great job of getting those down. Keep in mind, there's a huge amount of HP on the heavy cannons. 475. That's a lot to go through. Knuschelbär going to be doing his best to hold on. Kaister, God, eating massive volleys. Kaister just took a volley to the knee. It was huge. 5 more Wakina rifle going down on the back line, and it looks like Knuschelbär has been able to hold this push. This absolutely huge timing push. And that's game. Well played to Knuschelbär, tying up the series 2-2. Holy crap. What a finish to that game. That was a climax if I've ever seen one. Wow, that was a game. That was a really good game. You know, obviously there was a bit of a lull there in the middle. You know, not a huge amount of action. Not a lot of back and forth. But I tell you what, that was impressive stuff. Wow. Wow. Okay, all right. Knuschelbär, you are impressive. I tell you what, that was a whole... I was really worried for you, my friend. Villager population is looking really... Oh my gosh. Relatively even. We take a look at the resources gathered. Knuschelbär slightly ahead. Not too far behind, honestly. Kaister was. Was Knusch ever really in trouble? It's a good question, Dr. Sala. Definitely. Yeah, really. I think if Kaister had just pushed in, instead of going for the town centers and just pushed in, gone in with the Explorer, War Chief, Aura, really just got on top, had a bit more melee cav, yeah, 100% would have cleaned it up completely. All right, and let's take a look at the military unit population. And yeah, that we just see Kaister up on 153 military unit population. And you just see the difference that those walls make. Those walls really make it so much better, or so much more manageable. So it was at this point right here where Kaister's at 100 and Noosh is at 65 that Kaister needs to keep pushing the edge. But he stays and he sieges. So it's a bit more difficult. What is this a best of? This is a best of 7, my friend. So we're going to be updating the scoreboard for you guys now. Let me update that scoreboard. So that brings Noosh tying up the series 2-2. Oh my lord. This is starting to get serious. All right. I'm going to take a quick sig of my Red Bull. Guys, give me a moment. I'm going to put on some music for you. I'm just going to go downstairs, grab something to eat. It's just going to be very quick. I'm just going to grab some cheese from the fridge. I'll give you guys some music. And I'll be back with you in just a gentle moment. All right, we're back. Sorry for the break. Hope you guys are enjoying the music. I'm gonna restart the game. Oh, alright, so got some cheese from downstairs. Went to the bathroom. I got some slippers as well, because it's starting to get a little bit cold at 6:51 AM. I think the sun might be up in about 10 minutes. And, how do you say? Well, I got a little bit hungry, so we got that cheese. Turned on the heater as well. What variety of cheese? It's my favorite type of cheese, the laughing cow cheese. Pee-pee break? Yeah, indeed, pee-pee break. Where's the bear avatar for Noosh? Yeah, true. You guys want some cheese ASMR? You guys can hear that, right? That's like real ASMR. Hold on. I'm gonna give you guys the cheese ASMR. Hold on. Oh my god. It's not the way I planned it to be. Oh man, that's good cheese. Your cheese sounds like plastic? It's the foil on the outside. I kind of fucked up opening it, and so the foil was like really, really hard to get off. The plastic triangle cheese? Bro, it's not plastic, it's delicious, man. What you on about? That's the good stuff. Alright, let's try this one. We're gonna get this one open this time. There you go. There you go. Oh yeah. That's actually true, Haranara. That is true. That is very true. Alright, let me see if I can find the 5th game in this series. Alright, I've got the 5th game now. Let me download it. Game number 5. Laughing cow cheese? Dude, it's a damn French brand. L'avance-square. So weird to hear it in English. Yeah, laughing cow cheese, man. That's it. I always see the cheese triangles in the supermarket and wonder who the fuck eats these. Now we know. Dude, when I go to Costco, I buy like... They have like these big 25 or 24 packs of the cheese. I buy like 3 of them. It's so good if you're in a pinch and you need something to eat and it's like, oh, I don't want to cook up a burrito. It's like, just give me the cheese. The one that's shaped like a piece of cake? Yes, that's correct, Haranara. Alright, I'm going to quickly get into this game. We're going to pause it at the very beginning. A native matchup. Ooh. You guys ready to get into this? Let me check and see if we've got predictions done yet. / prediction. I'm going to start that prediction up. Who will win? You've got Kaister. You've got Noosh. And you've got 2 minutes. Prediction started. Get your bets in. All right, let's get into it. G'day, fellas. Welcome to the 5th game in the series between Kaister and Knuschelbär. This game is a part of the series in the Global Championship. We're in the round of 8, which is a knockout round. And we've got Knuschelbär spawning in the north of the map, playing the Haudenosaunee. His opponent spawning in the south of the map, playing on the Lakota again, the main squeeze. It's the big bad Kaister. You know him, you love him. Here he is. So starting with a market on this map, definitely going to be feeling pretty good for it, I'll say, because he often opens with a market. I've noticed in the last game he played, he opened with a market. So to be able to have the Lakota on this map and open with the Lakota with a market, I think it's quite a valuable thing. So you can see that he's already picked up his hunting dogs. I think he might have potentially, I'm not sure exactly what else he had there, but he picked up a coin treasury. Also started with some coins, so I don't know whether he bought some food maybe, or bought some wood. I'm not sure exactly what happened. Might have been bought wood. I think he might have bought wood. I'm not sure. We'll have to look at it. We'll have to see what happens. But also going to be potentially scouting out. Oh, a nice coin treasure in the middle that's just been picked up by Knuschelbär. Knuschelbär going to be walking over to the sheep, and the sheep going over to Kaister. So the right thing happening there. Kaister was much closer than Knusch. He beat him over to it. But as you guys know, that often the way that the game works when it comes to picking up who gets the sheep, there's a radius around the sheep, and it checks like once every 4 seconds. So imagine like an invisible circle around this sheep. And if you're standing within the radius of the sheep, when it checks on that 4-second mark, then you have a potential chance to get the sheep. I don't think it prioritizes who is closer or not. That's why you often see people just random, like you'll see 2 people go to a sheep, and the one that's furthest away will get it, and you'll be like, what the heck? I was the closest person. It's like, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Today we've got a water start from Knuschelbär. Knuschelbär is going to be playing the Haudenosaunee and going to be opening water. So Haudenosaunee on water is a very, very strong start. It is so strong that I would probably call it S, and maybe even S plus tier. It is that good. It is so freaking good. And the reason why it's so good is because of the tempo that it gives you. So we can see here that Knusch is going to be starting off with a dock. And just take a look how beautiful that dock is. That's in lovely 4K for me. I don't know if you're watching this on a 4K monitor, then it's probably in lovely 4K for you as well. Hopefully everything is looking good on your guys' ends. If there's any technical difficulties, if you could let me know in chat, that would be wonderful. Hopefully all the frames are there for you. I'm actually sorry, guys. I'm just going to pause it just for a sec, just because I want to double check. Yeah, okay. We've got 0 frames dropped at the moment. I've just got the stream up over on another screen right now, and I'm looking at it, and it's like it's all choppy. I'm like, what's going on over there? It looks terrible. Okay. All right. Back to the game. All right, so the on Twitch you'll only be able to watch this in 1080p, and when it's uploaded to YouTube it'll only be in 1080p as well. But the quality of the game, when we get down nice and low like that, you should be able to see quite a distinct difference in things like the buildings as well as in the tree. Looks really nice. Looks very crisp, is the way I say. You can actually really see the difference when it comes to the minute details in the buildings, and the Definitive Edition definitely demonstrates that. So I'm a big fan of it. I think the upgrade's been well and truly worth it. So water start over for the Haudenosaunee. So only going with the 3 fishing boats now. Didn't find any particularly big wood treasures in the early game. Let's take a look here. We've got 100 XP. So this has been found. Oh my gosh. So we've got Knuschelbär finding this one out. It's going to be attacking down the Haudenosaunee, or the Lakota Explorer. So difficult spot here because he's fighting against 3 Guardians, and he's got a steal potentially coming up. I think the Explorer is going to go down 100%. Explorer goes down, 100 XP going over to Knuschelbär. Massive victory for Knuschelbär already in this game. That is huge. And now the alligator's bugged out. It's just hanging out and just goes down. So no damage actually being taken out there. So we've got Adder from Knuschelbär really bringing a huge lead for Knusch in the early game. Doc still only with the 3 fishing boats that are out there. Going to be aging up at 3 minutes 8, 3 minutes 9 potentially here. Age up in queue. Does he go up with the Wise Woman? Does he go up with the Chief? Does he go up at all today? Yes, he does go up, and he goes up with the Chief. So going to be picking up a Scout treasure as well. So really quite a lot of, Pokemon that he's got here. Take a look over at Kaister, see what he's got on today. He is going up with the Chief himself. So both players going to be going up with their respective Chiefs. We've now got a villager that's moving out over onto the south flank of the map. Take a look at their decks and see exactly what we've got. We've got Florida Sea is the name of the deck. So we've got 4 vills, 5 vills as we'd expect. We've got the 3 Buccaneers, or the 3 Privateers. We've also got the Wakina upgrade, which gives the 20% rifle hit points, Axe Rider hit points, and Tashunki Prowler hit points as well. We've also got the Tashunki Prowler card, the Marauders, as well as Cavalry Combat. And in H4, we've got the Command Skill, which increases the attack of the units that are buffed up by the War Chief. So quite a bit going on. And oh my lord, we have got ourselves a good old-fashioned War Hut rush. Oh yeah. I know that some people in the chat are going to be very happy to see this. Are we going to potentially see a club rush coming out here today? Maybe we do. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. And we take a look back over at the perspective of Knuschelbär. We see what he's up to. He's going up to the second age at the moment, probably about 30 seconds away from it. Going to be getting the hunting dogs from the market. Also picking up another, he's picked up another convert, another tomahawk. He's got a Pokemon army of 4, 5. The native scout, which is also scouted the War Hut now. So really good scouting from Noosh. Getting a fishing boat now in transition. He's used 50 of that coin that he picked up in the treasure for the hunting dog. Still got 50 that remain. 75 wood treasure down here, so both players would have loved to have spotted this early on in the game. Got a 35 wood treasure in base that is going to get picked up by Noosh as well. He's doing a nice little job. Macro looking pretty tight. Looks like he might be even calling out the big button here. He's definitely macroing towards it. I wouldn't be surprised to see the big button get called, but we'll take a look. We'll spot what's going on in his deck. So sending the 600 wood from the home city as his first card in the second age. Can have that conservative tactics card in there. So definitely thinking about playing age 2 in this matchup. We've got the Tomahawk 10%, Aina 10% for both hit points and for damage. We've also got infantry hit points, infantry attack, as well as infantry combat in the third age. And then finally, we've got a bit of an interesting card, Rum Distillery in the first age, as well as 4 canoes and the 3 privateers. So definitely both decks looking towards the water. Obviously, the Haudenosaunee have got access to that water ceremony that they can do. Unfortunately, the Lakota don't have access to that, so it means that they're just going to have to fight with their privateers. War Chief now going to be going up, almost up to, Jesus, like well and truly past half HP. Villager was actually the one that reunited with the Explorer. So curious that the Villager's gone all the way out here to reunite. Seton Bow's now getting trained, so no club rush today. The Axe Riders are now moving in. Ideally, I'd like to see the Explorer link up with the Axe Riders. But interestingly, we've got a start from Noosh with a corral, but he's also got a war hut as well. So he's very, very versatile in that, you know, he can start Aina and then transition into a more, you know, a larger focus on cavalry at any point if he wants to. It's a very flexible opening from him to be able to have this corral here as well. Dropping down the longhouse now. He was population block for a little bit. He's going to be absolutely fine after this one. But we see the Aina. No, we don't have any Kanya horsemen in queue yet. There we go. Now they're coming through. And so this is going to be a bit of a difficult matchup, I would say, for Kaister. Primarily just because his opponent's already up 6 villages. We do an assessment. We're at 27 villages here versus 19 villages here. Well, 20 villages now. So really, you know, this is part of the reason why Haudenosaunee on water is just so damn strong. Because they start off with so many... They start off with so many more villages. It's just, it's ridiculous. So it's like, it's one of those things. I'm curious if they're going to look at nerfing that. I'm curious whether they're going to consider it a threat to balance. But I definitely suspect they probably should. It's just so prominent when it comes on water. Like, if it's a water map, you only really see Haudenosaunee, you know, going for this dock. You never see them really do anything. They're almost always going to be doing, you know, a dock opening of sorts. And that's exactly what has happened in this game. Noosh now in a position where he's able to defend this dock. No real military units out beginning to harass the units of Kaister. His canoe is slowly getting whittled down by Kaister's canoe. So Noosh got to be careful. Potentially stick this one in the dock. Decides he's not going to do it though. And now we've got a bit of a problem because all of these units are going to get sandwiched on the shoreline. But plenty of clubs in here. It looks like a shipment of clubs has potentially come in. We take a look and no shipment of clubs. It's just clubs getting made by the looks of it. 6 Seton now coming in as well. Clubs doing their best to meet the Kanya horsemen on the back line. And Kaister doing a pretty good job of actually cleaning up 200 woods worth of canoe. So not terrible. Doing a good job of trying his best to micro back as well. A nice bunch of Seton bows right here. So this is 15 Seton in total. Really a decent mass. He's got to be careful though, because this is a large mass of horsemen that are continuing to move around, posture out towards the north, and we see that the Aina are focusing down the Axe Riders, and vice versa. We've got the Setons focusing down the Kanya Horsemen, but unfortunately the Kanya Horsemen are a little bit stronger, so it means that in these trades we're going to see most likely the Haudenosaunee player coming out on top, and that's exactly what we see. Haudenosaunee player definitely doing a great job of coming out on top, and now the Kanya Horsemen going to be able to connect up with these Seton bows, and I guess he really probably could have cleaned Kaister up here, I think. Knuschelbär could have cleaned Kaister up, but it doesn't look like he's committing to it. But now going to be, look at the reinforcements. This is really what it comes down to. So you can just see the difference in timing. And now behind this, sending 6 Tomahawks. He's got, I don't know whether this is the big button, but he sent 5 Tomahawks as well. But like, there's a lot of units here, man. Like if you look, we've got 70 population versus 48 population. It's a huge difference. It's a 30 or 22 population difference. It's massive. That's massive. This early on in the game, we're at 8 minutes. And you know what it all comes down to? Fishing boats. That's what it all comes down to. It comes down to all those fishing boats. Now we've got villagers coming in. Do they get shipped to the forward war hut? Let's take a look and see. Do we have an amateur mistake right here from Kaister? Come on, do it, Kaister. Do it. Do it. Damn it. Damn it. Would have been something fun that we could have laughed at Kaister for. But unfortunately today, it looks like he's on the game. He's on the ball, rather. He's playing the game well. And I see that we've got a bit of a VIP in the chat at the moment. Big Don Artie, how you doing, Big Don? Good to see you here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hope you're here to support, cheer on your boy. The big boy, Kaister himself. He's playing up against Noosh. Doing quite well at the moment. He's up 2-2. Up 2-2. He's on 2-2, rather. And I don't think many people predicted him to take 2 games off Noosh, let alone to win a game in this entire tournament. So he's doing quite well. 6 Kanya Horsemen out now. And, you know, a really decent mass in here. Going to continue pushing down. Next shipment coming in. What are the options in going for the crates of 300 food, 300 wood, and 200 coin? So definitely pulling ahead here, I would say. I'd say that at the moment, I mean, we could take a look at the score. We can see that Knuschelbär is ahead by a country mile at this point. Corral, oh no, rather War Hut going down in base. 3 Axe Riders about to come out, but even then, like, what do you do at this point to stop them? The 4 Axe Riders going to get out on top, but there's Tomahawks at the front that are going to be able to get into melee. The Tomahawks move into melee, begin attacking the Axe Riders. Axe Riders are being repelled by them, but still the Seton Bows are doing their best to take them down, but unfortunately it doesn't look like it's going to be enough. More Tomahawks coming in, so even if they manage to somehow get past this, which they do, there's going to be reinforcing Tomahawks, so a difficult spot. All the Setons going down now. Villagers going down as well. 1 villager going down. Looks like a second one might go down. Almost getting blocked there, but managing just to stay alive. Getting herself inside the town center. Take a look over at Knuschelbär's perspective. See exactly what he's up to. Got a lot of coins saved up right now, Noosh does. So potentially thinking about an age 3 transition here. Potentially. He is gathering up the food. He's prioritizing the food. He's got food over wood over here as well. I think he might be... you know what? I think he might just take out the corral and then just move back. I think that's probably going to be the play. He takes out the corral, moves back. He goes age 3. Explorer going down. Always unfortunate when you lose the Explorer. Let's see what happens here. Doing the right thing, just getting those shots off. I think he needs to be careful, though. He can't commit too much. You don't know what else is happening. You don't know what else is behind this. Knuschelbär, you got to be careful, my friend. Got to be aging up now, though. Looking like he's actually got a pretty decent macro behind this. 34 villagers compared to the 29 villagers of Kaister. So, to be honest, it's not really that far apart. The main issue that he's got is that Noosh's got a giant army. He's going to age 3. And he's got 6 more villagers? That's a lot. Like, that's a lot of things going for him. When you compare that to Kaister, who is, like, sitting in age 2. No prospects of going to age 3 whatsoever. No extra villagers. Like, there's not really anything going for him, if that makes sense. Like, you've basically got your 10 out of 10 over here. Like, she's your doctor. She's also does modeling on the side. She's, you know, a Harvard graduate. That's Knuschelbär. And then you've got, like, your Kaister. Do I need to say any more? I mean, it's Kaister. I'm just kidding. You guys know that I love Kaister. I love Kaister. He's one of the stands, and that's what matters to me. We take a look now over at Noosh. We see what he's going up with. He's going up with the messenger to the 3rd age. We might speed it up a little bit as we enter in a lull period of the game here. And we've got the war chief that is being resurrected slowly. Age 3 has now been reached, so we'll slow it down. We'll dissect a little bit what's happening here. Canoe going to be going down from Kaister. Kaister probably realizing that he's in a difficult spot. More canoes coming out on the water. Are these canoes going to be doing some fishing? No, they're not. They're going to be pushing down the coast. We've got a fishing boat as well as... Ooh, another fishing boat. Oh, you sneaky. You sly dog, you, Kaister. Going and sending through Great Hunter. I think if there's a way for him to get back into the game, it's going to be with Great Hunter. So one of those things that, you know, you always got to be aware of is what are your ways to get back into the game? And being greedy is definitely the way to do it, especially against someone like Knuschelbär. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. We got a villager that's going to go down on the back line to the Carny Horseman. She's doing her best. She's fighting it out. But unfortunately... Oh, the reinforcing Seton bows. I thought that these were the, Oh! What? They saved her. They saved her. She lived on 8 HP. What if he accidentally right-clicks on the alligator right now? Imagine if he did it. He's like, okay, go here. Go here. Ah, he didn't do it. Okay. Never mind. The villager lived. The villager lived. But the alligators did not. Alright, so now going to be spawning new travois? What is this? What is this about? Spawn a new travois every 63 seconds? Is this a thing? What is he doing with this? He's sending it out here. Dude, this guy's got a brain the size of a watermelon. What the heck? Who does that? That's busted, man. That's... Ooh, okay. Alright then. We'll speed up a little bit. More Forest Prowlers now getting trained out. Fair bit of Axe Riders now going to finally pick up this 75 wood treasure, or at least try to. Looks like the alligator's going to manage to get away. So alligator will live to see another day. But in his day, it wasn't that long, unfortunately, because he was getting picked up by Knuschelbär. So both players now realizing, oh, there was a 75 wood treasure here all along. We now see more fishing boats getting trained up for Knuschelbär as well. Knuschelbär, Haudner, definitely quite strong. And Kaister looking for that age up. Still got 700 coin, just never really sent it through. When I'm going to go... he said I'm going to send Great Hunter. Doesn't have the 15 Bison in this deck. Might speed it up a little bit. Got a 5k score lead at the moment. I feel like it's only a matter of time before Noosh decides, hey, I'm going to right-click your base and you're going to die. And it looks like he might actually be doing it at this point in time. Community plaza are going to be isolated. No way for any dancing villagers. Looks like he actually deleted it and he's going to be rebuilding it over in the back of his base. Probably a wise decision, to be honest. Just because obviously he wasn't going to be able to dance it over there. But now he's going to be able to try and do his best to dance. Probably put an attack dance on for the timing that inevitably happens. TP going up now, so 2 TPs at the back line. He's still somehow got an outlaw blowgunner that's going to be with 196 hit points. Doesn't actually get buffed up by the TPs. Or if it... No, it doesn't get buffed up by the TPs. Oh, it does. It just... You don't actually see it as a plus on the hit points for whatever reason. So, curious. Curious. Age 3 now for Kaister. Kaister in a difficult spot. Definitely a much harder matchup. The musket riders on the back are going to prevent any sort of cavalry attack. 3 dog soldiers coming in from the home city. I feel like Kaister's only hope at the moment is to somehow get enough food to call the big button. And honestly, even if you call the big button and ship 3 dogs, you're still going to lose. There's too many musket riders here. There's the musket riders are so good, man. 30% range resist. It's freaking massive, dude. They're so tanky. 30% range resist, 281 hit points. It's massive, man. Town center slowly going down. Forest Prowlers on the front line. Going to be preventing any real damage from coming in. Looks like he's actually spawning in warriors at this point. Got 242 hit points. We've got a bit of a flank moving towards the north. Musket Riders being more than aware of it. Saying, you get back. Got Kanya Horseman with the elite upgrade tag now coming in. Going to be able to meet up. And Forest Prowlers doing their best to come in. We've got the Dog Soldiers now getting in on top. Wakinas. I don't even know where I saw Wakinas, but we've got Tomahawks entering into melee mode. Going to be doing their best. Forest Prowlers just falling back and really doing their best just to prevent any kind of potential attack. And Kaister calling GG. So Knuschelbär winning the game, taking the series up to 3-2, moving on to match point there. Let's take a look at the post game and just see where it all went wrong. You want to know where it all went wrong, ladies and gentlemen? Right here. At the very beginning of the game, where Knuschelbär is able to make like 4 extra villages for free. That's where it all went wrong. So, a tough game. Well played over to Kaister. Very well played over to Knuschelbär. And I think it's time for you and I to get into the next game. All right. So I'm going to put on some music for this one. Might need a little bit of time to prepare. I understand that the next game might be a little bit more interesting, to say the least. Interesting, I don't know if that's the right word, but we're going to have one. I'm going to take a swig of my Red Bull. Guys, if you're thinking to yourself, hey, I need something to drink, go grab something to drink right now, because we're probably going to be at least another minute or two before we get into the next game. Going to have to do a little bit of mucking around over here. I like this song. I hope you guys like this song as well. This is nice, isn't it? Alright, so I'm just sorting out that next replay. This one here. Okay, cool. All right, and we're signing in. I have to verify my identity, of course. Sorry, guys. G'day, fellas. Welcome to the 6th game in the series between Kaister and Knuschelbär, spawning in on the west of the map. It's Kaister, his opponent, Knuschelbär, spawning in on the east of the map, and both players are playing the Spanish. Boy, don't we have an absolute game for you today. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Darker. You might be unfamiliar with this map, so let me explain a little bit about how this map works. So, both players start off very, very close to each other. You can see that when it comes to spawning, they are almost within a screen's distance away from each other. So about here is where you can build to for both players. Like, you know, you've got about a space of that far. So very, very nice for rushing. A trading post line to the north, 4 TPs. So both players probably going to be competing 4 TPs. We see that towards the north of the map, there are yaks that are getting picked up by both players. So we've got Kaister that's already begun picking up, I guess I'd say a yak or two over here. Already going back. And down towards the south, of course, we could not forget the most important part of this map, the water. Now, the water has got 6 whales in it, absolutely plenty of whales. Lots of fish in here, so plenty of fish in the sea. Not going to be worried at all about running out of fish. And I guess one of the most interesting parts of this map is this part right here. So in between these 2 land bridges, I would say that, you know, we've got this shallow area here where it cannot be crossed by caravels or frigates, but it can be crossed by units. But this part here, it's a little bit deeper, and in this deeper part, you can actually put a frigate, you can put a monitor, you can put a caravel, you can put an ironclad, you can put fishing boats if you wanted to. I mean, I don't know why you'd want to. There's quite frankly, there's no fish in this sea. But you can continue to do that up towards the north. There are these deeper areas as well. And most importantly, at the north of the map, there are these gold mines that we've got. So 5,000 on each of these bad boys, as well as a lot of berries. And you might be like, all right, but there's a lot of berries, but you know, they're just berry bushes. Well, they're not just any berry bushes. These are berry bushes with Bhakti Temple upgrades. Now, Bhakti Temple upgrades, that's a 40% upgrade. I think it's called veganism. It's going to give you a 40% upgrade to berry bushes, and you've got 8 berry bushes in your base as well, unless you're Japanese, in which you don't get any Japanese, you don't get any berry bushes. You don't start with any. You just get a standard, what should we call it? You get a standard rickshaw, or orchard rickshaw instead. All right. So let's take a look at each player's decks. We've got Kaister. He's over on the left-hand side of the map. We'll have a look and see exactly what his deck has got going on. And his deck is called Not AOE, and I've got to agree with him. It's not AOE. I know what you're going to be up to, Kaister, and I like it a lot. So we've got everything that you'd expect to see in a Spanish logistician deck on Darker. It's the good stuff. It's the schooners. It's building HP. It's advanced dock. It's absolutely dirty, and I love it. I think it's fantastic. So we've also got the extensive fortifications in Age 2, Age 3 card. We've got that Spanish gold, and finally that heavy fortifications in Age 4. So quite a lot to process right there. We'll take a look over at Knuschelbär. We'll see what Knuschelbär is up to. Going with Advanced Trading Post. Probably going to be playing a little bit more standard. No, he's not. He's going Water Logistician, so he's got that Schooners, Economic Theory, Fish Market. Now, did Kaister have Fish Market as well? He does. He's got Economic Theory as well. Now, it doesn't obviously have Team Coastal Defenses. That is something that Knuschelbär has got. So I'd be curious to see how both of these players open. Obviously, we've got ATP coming in from Knuschelbär, and that's coming in quite early. That's coming in before he's even clicked up to the second age. So it's I'd be curious to see how he's going to play this. So opting obviously to take trading posts over his opponent, who is going to be playing, I suspect, a bit more water orientated. So I think on this map it's one of those difficult things, okay, because it's like the trading post is definitely better in the short term, but in the long term water is better. But if you could take the trading posts and take the water at the same time, or at least, you know, delayed a little bit, then, you know, which one is better? And I guess that really comes down to the question of, well, you know, it depends. And it depends primarily on what happens on water, because let's say, hypothetically, Kaister goes for a 3 Caravel rush, and his opponent, Knuschelbär, doesn't have anything on water. He sees the Vels down here, he tries, and he knows that he can't invest in water. Well, what does he do now? He just attacks on land, but he's lost water completely. And if you've got a, you know, proficient user, a proficient abuser of things like colonial militia and town centers, well, you're going to have a bit of trouble. Even with 3 TPs, I think you're going to have a bit of trouble. I think on this map especially, you're always going to have to contest water at some point. And by not opening water, I think you definitely inhibit your ability to do that. But we'll see how Knuschelbär goes. We see that Kaister is actually training a Vel, sending 2 Vels from the home city, so he is indeed going to be doing that 3 Caravel rush. I'd be curious to see whether he opts to move his flag over a little bit closer to his opponent. Undoubtedly going to be spotting out that his opponent is dropping down a second trading post, and that maybe you don't need to do a 3 Vel rush here, but let's see exactly how he plays it out. We spot down towards the south that there's actually... Oh my god! Oh, he's got a Logistician deck, but he's not playing Logistician. Oh, you're so sneaky, Knuschelbär. Oh, I love the mind games. Oh, it's perfect. I didn't even check and spot that he wasn't doing Logistician. He's not doing Logistician. He's just playing normal. Oh, but this is bad. This is bad because he's up so early from the Logistician. By the time these Caravels are going to come in, they're going to spot this outpost. They're going to take it down. Oh, no. This ain't good. This ain't good. I like the fake Logistician play. So Caravels definitely in a bit of a wrong position, deciding to... I hate this so much. I hate this so freaking much, dude. Oh my god, all the Caravels coming down here. I tell you what, if he misses this because those Caravels decided to path down here and join, oh, that's going to infuriate me greatly. Oh my god, he missed it, dude. You know what? I'm not going to be that mad. I think it would have been pretty close either way. Spots that outpost. Immediately when he sees that outpost, he should know, okay, my opponent is not going to play water. He's going to be doing an FF completely. I win. As long as he knows how to play from here, he wins. Now, keep in mind, he has played somewhat, I would say somewhat, he's invested very heavily in the water at this point. He's obviously got 3 Caravels, but behind this, you've got Schooners. He's going to be dropping down. I'm surprised that we don't actually have 2 more docks down immediately. I would want to see, at the very least, another dock. Maybe a second dock. And got to be so careful with this Caravel. It's going to be taken out by the town center, but fortunately coming away from it, the outpost is going to go down. So forward outpost really being a little bit meaningless and doing the right thing. So ideally on this map, you want to be docking the very corner. So dock the very corner right here. And got to be so careful with this Caravel. This town center's just got a mind of its own. Look at it. It's crazy, man. It must have 40 anti-ship attack and 40 line of sight. 2 Caravels now getting sent in from the home city as well. Knuschelbär on the money. On the ball, knows what is up, and he is sending in these Caravels. So, bit of a difficult spot now for Kaister, primarily because he's going to have low HP Caravels that don't have any broadside attack. He doesn't have any fishing boats in his docks to defend his Caravels. So, we see the first Caravel going down. The second one's getting blocked. Like, look, this is just so frustrating. The block constantly happening right here. Since the definitive edition, water pathing has been absolutely terrible. I don't know what the hell they did. I just wish they changed it back to what it used to be like. I don't know why they have to go around and play with it. I mean, I'm sure they want to try and improve it, but the truth is it's just gotten worse. So, you know, it's very frustrating to see him losing stuff there that he shouldn't be losing. But at the same time, I mean, I understand why it's happening. Admiral of the Ocean Sea is the age up for Knuschelbär. Probably the best age up in this position. It's going to give him that 400 wood. It's also going to be giving him a caravel that he's going to be able to age up with. So I suspect we're going to see a dock or two drop down here on the back line. Definitely a nice builder from Knuschelbär. I remember the last time we saw Kaiser play on this map, I think it was. And we saw... I wouldn't say a bot No, it was a bot FF. It was a bot FF. So great to see that Noosh is somewhat adapting to this and saying, you know what, I'm not just going to throw you a standard play. I'm actually going to challenge you on water, but... Now Kaister's dropping down that third dock, so one of the things I would be doing, I'd be, as I said earlier, maybe be chucking this dock down on the corner, then move this second dock in. You want to have all these docks as close as possible so that you can rebuild docks as you go up the coastline, because inevitably your opponent is going to try and push you in, push your docks in, and you want to make sure that you're able to rebuild as many docks as you can. Keep funneling those fishing boats up the docks. It's disgusting, but I assure you that is appropriate. That's how it works. I guess one of the things to think about is that you are inevitably going to have two falconets pushing in, and if you've got that age deficit, you're not really going to have a way to deal with it. We've got 30 villagers now for Kaister, 17 for Knuschelbär. Kaister, or Knuschelbär actually doesn't have five villagers in deck, so he can't actually send them from the home city because he's gone with the water logistician, so I did expect that we would see that, but he's obviously got quite a weak economy now as a consequence of that. He's obviously got the TPs that he's taken. No stagecoach has come through, so he's just got 3 TPs trickling in XP right here. But now beginning to train musketeers, so we could potentially see he's got a bit of a topside musketeer or musketeer producing building, also known as a barracks. So most likely going to see them rally over here towards the north, begin working towards that all-important 4th trading post, and then maybe we'll see him potentially go for a stagecoach. Sending in Spanish gold as the first card. What's his second card going to be? I suspect a frigate is what we're going to see. I don't think we're going to see a frigate in here. Maybe he doesn't even send a frigate. You kind of need the frigate in the back pocket just in case, your opponent ships a frigate here. Ideally, you want to try and get a town center up here so that you can defend against a frigate, because frigates are really going to hurt you quite badly. Age up time's still quite competitive. Before 8 minutes, so definitely quite a good time considering he's got 3 trading posts up. 3 Vels now moving in. Going to be able to get some nice shots. First broadside attack going down on the fishing boats. Now these fishing boats have all got their great coats, so they're going to be plenty able to survive. 2 fishing boats going down, and don't they just look beautiful as they fall through the water and down to the bottom of the ocean. Just like that. Knuschelbär heading back, just getting those broadsides off, and I think that's a right decision. You just get your broadsides off and you say, all right, because ideally what he's going to want to do is push at the same time on land and water. Actually cancelling his frigates and cancelling his falconet and going with a frigate. Also going to be picking up an 80 wood treasure behind his base here. We've now got those musketeers that we talked about earlier. These musketeers are going to begin sieging down the trading post. It's going to be going for that 4 TP, getting out stagecoach in as well, as we mentioned before. And the frigate coming in now. So I don't think that we're going to see the frigate in the pond, mainly because his opponent is water booming. And the frigate isn't really going to provide him a lot of flexibility. I mean, it's just going to basically mean, oh yeah, I control the pond. Yeah, but like, okay, congratulations, you control the pond. Like, what do you get from that? Not really much. So I don't think we're going to see that there. We now see CM coming in. So I feel like that's a little bit preemptive. One of the things I like to do with the logistician is just kind of, at this point, just keep my card. So, because you don't know what your opponent's going to do. Is my opponent going to push me on water? If so, advanced dock. Is my opponent going to push me on land? If so, town militia. I mean, you could probably try and ship both of them. It's just going to be tough because your outpost is going down. You're not going to get any more trickles of XP. We take a look where that rickshaw is. The rickshaw's still a mile away. There's no way that XP is going to come through. And it's one of those situations where it's just like, we're now going to see the age up. I'm going to hover over it. I think it's the bishop. It's the bishop. Okay, good. Making the correct play. Definitely taking notes from Donardi. Doing very well, I'd say. Fishing boats now coming out as well. 48 villages for Kaister compared to the 19 of his opponent. Now keep in mind that we do have Spanish gold. So that, I think, what does that work out to be? Is that like the equivalent of 8 villages as long as you've got shipments in? I think it works out to be something like that. So we've got, you know, essentially 27 villages, and then you've got 3 TPs, about to be 4 TPs. So 27 villages up to about, what, 40 villages, 42 villages? So 42 villages versus 49. So it's pretty close. It might not look close, but it's close when it comes to the economy, the way that it works. So now the docks are all in. Imagine if these docks had advanced dock and those broadsides going down, taking out the frigate for Kaister. Kaister losing a fair few frigates there. A fair few caravels, rather. I think it was just the one. A couple of idols, and now this... Oh my gosh. This frigate is just so annoying, isn't it? It's part of the reason why Portugal's so strong on maps like... Saguenay, because there's islands in the middle, so you can defend from even frigates with your docks. But here it's a little bit different. I mean, you can still try and fish behind here, but there's really not a lot. I mean, you've got a whale, that's essentially it. And we've got the Hussars trying their best to get a couple hits on those falconets. Looks like they managed to connect, getting 2 hits off, but Musket's now going to begin moving forward. It's not really going to be too much of an issue. Obviously, he's going to have colonial militia. I mean, you press that button and you win the war at that point, or the fight at that war. Rather, the fight at that point. And 22 idols at the moment now for Kaister, so definitely a bit of a difficult spot. Fishing boats beginning to load up inside this... inside, and I think he did make the right choice sending colonial militia in. I mean, advanced dock, obviously it's going to do work, but it's not going to really stop a push from a frigate. A frigate, just completely different kettle of fish. Do we potentially see a CM pop here? We see the small CMs getting called right now. We don't have a market yet, do we? No, we've got a market, so we could see a market trade of some wood. Broadside getting off onto the falconets. Going to be moving into position. I don't think Knuschelbär realized that this managed to get past. It's down on 20 health right now. And it looks like the falconet is going to be going down. It's got 10 HP. There it goes. Falconet goes down. So that's all of the primary siege for Knuschelbär has been killed without the big pop being issued. So he's still got the big pop that he can call, and that's really essential. But, I mean, Knuschelbär is doing the right thing at this point. He's got 4 TPs. He's got Spanish gold. He's pretty greedy when it comes to, like, exactly what he's doing. He's, like, full greed on land. Like, obviously he hasn't invested in water compared to, like, what Kaister's done. He's got fish market. He's got 15 fishing boats here, 11 fishing boats here. He's got a lot. Like, let's say that much. But we've got a bit of an issue, though. That's it. And... I mean, it really comes down to... So now he's actually dropping a second and a third TC as well. So one of these is from the Bishop. One of them is being built... Oh, sorry. That's not a town center. That's barracks. I apologize. I thought that was a third town center. I was like, oh my god, this guy is a maniac. He's dropping like 3 TCs. So now beginning to do the dock shuffle that we also commonly see on this map. I would have expected another dock to be potentially built here. Got the barracks going up though. So frigate now falling down upon the coastline. Knuschelbär gonna be under attack. His musketeers are going to be falling down. He probably needs to pull them back and doing the right thing there. Got some caravels just chilling out at the moment on the bottom side. More caravels just watching the pass. We've got our frigate back home, just doing a little bit of healing. You can see he's getting healed up by the dock. A shipment arriving. We'll take a look and see exactly what that was. It looks like it might have been the 9 Rodoleros. No, I don't think it was. It was the Swiss pikes. Oh my lord. Hello, lovely. What are you doing here? Oh lord. Okay, things are about to get real. And when I say real, I mean like real bad for Kaister. Take a look at the score difference now. Score's beginning to open up. We've got a 4K score gap for Knuschelbär. So Swiss pike definitely looking quite strong. I'm going to speed it up and then just slow it down. Oh my god, look how fast they go when we speed it up. But when we slow it down, they just go so slow. You know, I wish we could just get 100% in-game speed. It would be great to have like an actual accurate in-game speed. Like, how long has the Definitive Edition been out now? 8 months? 9 months? And still, we don't have this full game in-game speed. Anyway, we continue moving on. We digress. Noosh in a really good spot here. Kaister in a difficult spot. Doing his best just to sort of take advantage of the whales, what little whales he has. He's got 2 whales over here in the corner. Frigates now coming out, so double frigate, and now we've got the pikes in the back. We just got half the pikes. It looks like 5 pikeys coming in. It does, and 7 pike. I don't know. Where did these pikes go? Is this another case of classic DE pathing where these 7 pike just walked off on their own? It could have been. It could have been. 1 frigate going down. 2nd frigate going down. Kaister feeling really good about himself right now. Said, "You know what, Mum? I'm gonna make a man out of myself today, and you're gonna see it." And he killed 2 for caravels. And he also shipped CM. Is that really? Are you making a man out of yourself, Kaister, if you're shipping CM? I don't think so. I don't think so. Musketeers slowly getting killed by the skirms. Skirms doing a great job there, really just picking them off one by one. So really quite nice. We take a look at the deck. We see what options he's got to send from the home city. I mean, in this position, probably want to go something like rendering plant or improved warships. I'm probably leaning more towards improved warships to just secure your position on the sea because, oh god, now you got a town center to deal with. Oh man, what do you do against a town center? I mean, dude, look at this, two culverin as well. What are you gonna do when he comes up here with 2 culverins just sitting and chilling over here? I mean, at best, you've just got to be hoping that you can kind of break even on water because with this town center here, it makes it so much more difficult. Swiss pike now moving in towards the base. A couple of villagers going to get piked down. First villager going down. Second villager getting stabbied. Dogs on the back line as well. Looks like the third villager is going to get down. They're too busy picking berries. Ladies and gentlemen, those are some delicious berries. I'll tell you that much because they are absolutely gorgeous. Holy cow, that is a large militia pop. Ladies and gentlemen, we have got a colonial militia. That's 15 militiamen being called. Now, why weren't they called from this town center? They haven't been called yet from this town center. They could have very easily been popped. And they were spotted. And so he's just going to walk away. The explorer doing his best to try. He's saying, come back here. I was going to snare you. Si, senor. And he walks away. So a little bit of a tough situation, I would say, right now for Kaister. It's, I guess it does kind of make sense for him to pop that. We did see that there were lances behind. There were 5 lances, I think, so perhaps that pop is to save the skirms. That would make sense, yeah. I'll accept that as a reasonable explanation. But, oh my lord, the frigate's getting shots off on the dogs. Culverin on the back line. Does he spot the culverin? Does he spot the culverin? He sees the culverin. He's got to be so careful. The fishing boats are blocking him. The fishing boats are... Oh, they got through. They got through. Oh my lord, isn't that just so, like, you're so, like, let me in, let me in, let me in. Like, it's the same sort of meme that's happening. Now we got the big cool moving pop coming out right now. CM getting called from the town center. Explorer going down. Do we see a potential buyback of the Explorer coming back? We should. Kaister in a great position here. 64 villagers, 27 idols at the moment. Don't mind those. They're doing damage in the town center. 12 villagers in this town center at the moment. Gonna make sure they all fall back eventually. Oh my god, look at that. Look at that colonial militia. He looks like he might pick up 2 free culverin here. I think he's gonna get these culverin for free. He's gonna do his best. First culverin going halfway. Second culve going down to about or first culve going about down to a quarter HP. 62. Getting a couple volleys off on the first frigate. It looks like the broadside potentially gonna happen here. Broadside getting off on... No, it's not a broadside. It's just a normal attack. Down to 250 HP. Doing its best, and both of the frigates managing to get out of there, taking shots as they run away, and all those culverin just doing so much damn work right there. Holy shit, dude. We've now got improved warships coming in for Knuschelbär as well. So Knuschelbär sending that from the home city. A great shipment, a really good choice here. Going to enable him to have a little bit more leverage on the water and just idling Kaister once again. Really forcing him out and saying, you know what, Kaister? You're going to have to... Oh, he's got to be careful in here. He's in a bit of a difficult spot. There's a town center in here as well. Town center on the coastline. It looks like the frigate is sort of just going to walk back, and I think that's the right decision. We've got a second frigate out from Knuschelbär as well, so both of these players in a difficult spot. I would say that it's not one of the easier games, that's for sure. Town center on the mainland, having to deal with the Swiss pikes, but taking out a house. Culverin focusing down the docks. They've got to continue moving up the beach, but not overextend. We do have Dragoons that are out on the field and some Lancers. The Lancers look like they're going to be able to get around the coin mine. Going to come down and greet the Culverin. Give them a nice little handshake with their Lancers, I think. What do we have going down? It looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Lancers going to be on top. The Swiss Pikes just going to be walking away. You guys know the Craig David song. Sing it if you know it. I'm walking away. There they go. Walking into their deaths, though. Not taking the advice of Craig David. An unfortunate consequence of their malpractice. Frigates now. I would say that Kaister's actually managing to hold this quite well. Like, when we compare it to Nush is on 3 TCs, right? He's got the 3rd TC up to the north. He's on 36 villages. He's got 4 TPs. So, really, that's on 52. He's also got Spanish gold that he's sent. So, maybe it's not 52. Maybe it's like 54, 56 would be the equivalent of it. And then you consider Kaister. He's on 61, but he's got 44 idols. Like, you know, one of the things that, like when I was in school, right, I was taught a couple of things. You know, 2 + 2 is 4. -1, that's 3. That's quick math. But idle villages, you don't want to have idle villages. This is something that I learned in school. The teacher told me, he said, Drongo, when you're an older gentleman, you're going to be training a lot of boats. You're going to be training a lot of villagers out of your town center. One of the things you want to do is you want to keep them gathering resources as long as possible. Avoid them going idle unless you need to keep them in the town center for fire. And unfortunately, it looks like he was idle for a significant period there. I would say at this point that it is a very even match. Primarily because Knuschelbär has actually got up 3 town centers, and he's been able to train villagers. He's got 4 villagers at the moment that are forward. But we take a look and we spot that the scores are quite even. 182 to 181. So very darn close. 5 villagers in here though. Rodolero's out. 14 Rodolero's out. So I guess the question is, where does Noosh go from here? If I'm Noosh, what do I do? Obviously, I'm not booming on water. So I'm feeling kind of bad. I guess the most important thing for me is I need to be training villagers. And I need to continue applying pressure on water because I've sent in combat. This is a tough game, man. This is a true game of like actual chess. Like okay, I'm genuinely stuck. Like, what does Noosh do in this position? Because Kaiser's win condition is very, very clear. If anybody's wondering, how does Kaister win this game? Did I say Kaiser? I meant Kaister, sorry. Kaister's win position is very clear in this game. He wins by holding water, by pushing water, and not dying on land. That's essentially it. That's how Kaister wins. But Noosh doesn't have that win condition. Because he's constantly got docks to deal with. I mean, at worst case scenario, he's got advanced dock and improved buildings to deal with. Best case scenario, he's just, you know, he's going to be just doing what he's doing right now, which is the right thing. Forcing Kaister to just continue training, you know, caravels, frigates, that sort of thing. But now it looks like he's opting to go for that 4th age. Kaister found a window. Rodolero's pushing up. Only 42 villagers. And where's the score of Noosh? Because I feel like Kaister's ahead. I feel like Kaister's ahead a lot, actually. And that's beginning to get reflected in the score. We now see 22-4 versus 218. We've got Dontet forever, am I right? Yeah, hell yeah, brother. Hell yeah. Oh yeah. So we got the 3 frigates out for Knuschelbär, but I'm like, where is all of his score? Because he's only got 42 villagers. I mean, I guess he's got 3 town centers. He's got the advanced trading posts as well, so it's not terrible. He's got, yeah, I guess he's got like, it makes sense, but then I guess at the end of the day, like, Kaister's got the water though, and he's got 70 vills. Like, 70 vills is a lot more than 45. Going 4th age now. He's also got a lot of shipments, so he's sending the rendering plan in. He's also sending fish market, so like, to anybody wondering like what's better, the 1 coin a second whales, which by the way, that's 4 coin a second right there. A single freaking whale, 4 coin a second. That is ridiculous. That is so much coin, dude. That is insanity. Look at this. 0.66. These are like 1.5 villagers. I don't know what we saw. I don't know what died over here. I don't know whether it was, I think it was villagers. I think we got 3 villagers. But I think in this position, it's definitely looking like Kaister's got the lead. Going age 4 with Dragoons. I think you can, at this point, just go spam Dragoons, spam Lancers exactly like he's doing. Get guard upgrades for your Dragoons, and I don't think there's anything that can kill you. Look at that broadside coming off, though. I say that, but you got to keep in mind, I guess Noosh has got 3 frigates. That's one thing to be cognizant of. He's got 1, 2, and then I think the 3rd one's healing back here. It's quite low. And a single musketeer just burning down the dock on the back line. This musketeer is doing God's work. Look at the torch he's got. He's like throwing the paper in. What a soldier. What a soldier. What an absolute musketeer. And I think Kaister's just happy with half of the sea. Like, when you think about it, this is like basically, if he was sea... Oh, dude, he's got 3 whales. He's fine. Technically 4 whales. Has he got this one? He's got 4 whales. He is absolutely... Wow, look how unbalanced the whales are on this map. I just realized. Dude. 1 whale, 2, 3, 4, I know that we got a fight going on here. I know that we got a bit of a fight going on here, but look down here. You've only got 2 whales on Knusch's side, dude. Wow. That's so imbalanced. That's crazy. That is like... I can't begin to tell you how big of a deal that is. To have a safe whale here right outside your dock. You have 2 whales, 3 and 4, like right there on your side. It's crazy, dude. That actually, like single-handedly from that right there, I'm gonna say Kaister will win this game just because he's got that many safe whales. 16 fishing boats. That's 16 coin a second that he's got safe. He doesn't need to push beyond this point. He's very happy here. This is fine for him. You know, that's a happy chappy right there. Gonna be able to push out on this town center. Now, keep in mind, there's no colonial militia coming in yet for Knuschelbär. He does have a colonial militia in the deck. Hasn't sent it yet. No real position to age up either. He's in age 3. Kaister beginning to pull ahead in score. We see about a 2k score lead at the moment. We hear that frigate fighting, dealing damage. We take a look at the villager count. We've got 66 villagers up against 56. So Knuschelbär actually beginning to close the gap, I would say, especially when you consider the fact that he's got these trading posts up to the north. So who knows? 3 frigates now out for Kaister. Does he? He's got double upgrades coming in though. This is it. I think Kaister's actually going to be making his push here. As long as Kaister holds on land, I feel like, look, maybe just start chucking a wall down across here. Oh my god, the Culverin. The Culverin. Just when you thought it was safe to see... No, not like this. You just got to draw it back. Otherwise, it gets killed by the Culverin, Kaister. Come on, we talked about this. It was like lesson 101 in artillery micro. Do not unpack the falconet. Whatever you do, roll it back, roll it back, roll it back all the way. I don't care how far you got to roll it back. So I think at this point, Kaister can train a monitor and he can actually begin pushing this in. And as long as Knusch doesn't find a window to age up, he's going to be okay, and he's going to be able to push this off. And then the real problems begins, because then he has the whole water, and he can just do whatever he wants. And, you know, you can have all of the land that you like. You can have your advanced trading post. You can get your berry upgrade. I don't care what's it called? Is it vegetarianism or is it veganism? I think it's veganism. I think it might be vegetarianism. I want to say veganism. I'm just going to say it's vegetarian. No, it's veganism. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. All right. Get your bets in. Get your bets in. Is it vegetarianism? Is it veganism? But we've now got an age 4 coming up, an engineer going for Knuschelbär. So going to be up about 25 minutes. So not too shabby of a time. Still got the 3 town centers as well. So going to be going up with the safest town center, the one that's not subject to potential threat from monitors or potential threat from petards or falconets or, you know, whatever it is that Kaister feels the need to throw at him. And we see Kaister, so no, still no monitors yet. I feel like monitors, I don't know, am I crazy? I feel like, imagine 2 monitors, right? You get 1 monitor, you shoot that, second monitor, shoot that, push up here. You've got all the advanced upgrades. I mean, actually, Knusch's got those upgrades now as well. We doesn't have the final attack upgrade. These are all frigates. Oops, I accidentally clicked a flag. These are all frigates. Okay, finally now we've got the monitor coming out. Okay, I guess I spoke too soon. So long-range attack, probably going to be taking out this outpost, I suspect. And then beginning to work on the town center. There it goes. Outpost, going down. So that problem is solved. Oh my lord, Kaister getting off an absolute beast of a barrage onto the falconet and the frigate, taking both of them, the falconet and the frigate, the caravel and the frigate, taking them both down. Look at the health that's on these guys. Like, he's got no trouble at all. He can probably take down this town center. Ship howitzers is not ready to research. Now researching the ship howitzers as well. Getting in the monitor. I want to see a wall across the top here. I feel like the only thing that he could really die to now is potentially like a push in from the north. But even then, he's got like a decent mass, 14 dragoons, 22 skirms. Like, this is pretty decent. We take a look over at Knuschelbär, we see exactly what he's got. I mean, Knusch doesn't really have much. Like, he's going to lose. Like, of course, he's got the dream combo of Rodolero, Lancer, Skirm, but it's not, you know, it's not big enough to beat CM coming from town centers. The age up has now happened. Keep in mind, this dock has been killed. It's just that the age up's here, and so you're going to see it miraculously disappear. Ghost Dock. The legend of Ghost Dock. It just disappeared. It's like, I must return to my people. It's Japanese for those who didn't know. Ghost Doku. Ghost Doku. All right, let's take a look and see what it's called. We'll never know what it's called because he researched it. Can we check the chat log? Is there a way to check? No, there's no way to check the chat log. Oh, there we go. Here we go. potentially we see it in the chat log, maybe? Town center going down. I'm still searching the chat log. I don't think we're going to see it. I don't think we're going to see it. We're not going to see it. I don't think there's enough outposts on this water. And this right here, this is why I actually think Kaister wins. Because you've lost water now. Because your opponent got H4, they got mortars, and you've lost your position on the water. And you're just going to get forced back from here. Because now you can't hold water because you've lost. Like, the best bet you've got is to, like, build another dock and then just really, like, try and clear your opponent off water. But you're stacking 3k food. Outpost going to get taken out by the Falconets in the middle. Not going to be able to get in. I guess he was probably thinking that there could potentially be a mortar or a monitor in here. Kaister definitely... what did this... Did it... I think it shelled this one. I think that they're just taking turns in shelling each other's outposts at this point. But you got to remember, okay, every outpost that's shelled is a victory for Kaister. Why is that so? Because Kaister's on the water. Every trade he can take is a good trade. As long as it's a 1-for-1. Kaister will continue to push ahead. I'd love to see some caravels out of him, honestly. I don't know why there's no Vels out yet. You know, caravels are quite strong, especially once they've got all these upgrades. 1400 HP, broadside attack, mortar coming out. Going to be able to take down this outpost. Did it try? I think it just did one attack. Dude, it does 140... It does 1400 damage with one attack? To buildings? Really? It does that much? That is so much damage, dude. One attack and it does that much? What the heck? That is so much, dude. I guess... That is so much damage. That is ridiculous. That is an awful lot of damage when you think about it. It's like, I'm doing that math right? It's 1400. Damn, Daniel. Mortar's now going to be raining down on the caravels. Or on the frigates, rather. Kaister pulling ahead massively. Oh, you know why? He's pulling out the heavy fortification cards. Do not be alarmed, ladies and gentlemen. It's not really that big of a score gap. It is Kaister just sending in the flex card. You're sending in the casual flex card. It's what happens when you're playing this style. You got to send in heavy fortifications. No guard upgrades yet for any of the units. Veteran dragoons, veteran skirmishers, veteran lancers, veteran militiamen. Not really, but you know, if you could get them to veteran, you'd probably have veteran militiamen. And now the fight begins. So we have Garachistas. We don't. We've got veteran lancers, veteran skirmishers, veteran rodoleros. The only thing that's age 4 here are the Don Gattos. It is Don Gatto, my friend. It is Don Gatto. All right, let's take a look at the dog's name. Who have we got here? We've got Don Gatto, Reynosa, Polo. And is there one more? I think there might be one more underneath that lancer. I think that's it. I think there's just 3. Oh no, there's 5. Oh, there's 5 dogs for us to find. Where are the dogs? Where my dogs at? Is it where the hood's at? No, no, what's that song? Where are the dogs? Who let the dogs out? That's the one. Who let the dogs out? I can't see any of the other dogs. They must be in like, are they in like a frigate or something? Where are they hiding? I want to see more Don Gatto. Fortified outpost. 3,000 hit points. So this is going to help him out a significant amount because it means that the mortar long-range shots don't one-shot the fortified outpost anymore. So really, really big difference. So you can see the 3,000 hit points here versus the 2,000 hit point outpost of Knuschelbär. Now, obviously, that can be mitigated by getting the long-range attack upgrades. So you can see now that that's 3,500 hit points. But then once again, that can be counter-mitigated by improved buildings, which is going to increase building hit points by 40%, which takes the outpost up over that threshold of 3,500 hit points. I think it would put them up. I'm just going to do some quick math here. About 3,800, I think would be correct. So it'll put them out of range of getting one shot again. So that is really, you know, the way the dynamic works between them. Guard Dragoons up right now. I would suspect the next card we're going to see out of Kaister is Unction. I can genuinely feel it coming, dude. I can see Unction coming out as the next card. He's in a position right now. He's in a dominating position. He's up about true up about 6k score right now. Huge amount of dragoons, and people talk about Spanish dragoons. Oh my god, are they enchiladas? Enchiladas! Oh hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah, brother. Counter infantry rifling for the veteran skirmishers. No guard upgrade just yet. We'll take a look over at Kaister and see if he realizes this. Does he have any? No, he's only got the single barracks. So he's got to be careful with these. 21 veteran skirmishers. We take a look now. Veteran skirmishers moving in now. You guys might be wondering, why do you call them enchiladas? Because their name is like Espadachin. But I was like, that looks like enchilada. Enchilada. Espadachin. And so that's why I call them enchiladas. So we've got a fair few amount of the Espadachins, some Rodoleros, we'll call them on the back line. Veteran Lancer, no Garage to upgrade yet. Getting guard skirmishers in as well. Going to be able to give him a little bit more depth. And oh my lord, is that a Galleon coming out for Kaister? Kaister with the BM Galleon right now. Going to begin training. Why do you have a Galleon in the middle here? Like just do a Caravel, Kaister. Why are you going to do an expensive Galleon? These things cost 500 coin. It's basically a frigate that just only shoots half the distance. It's not the best option, I'd say that much, but nonetheless, you can see right here. This is the great thing about having that heavy fortification cards. It means that your fortified outposts just survive that much longer. Enchiladas now beginning to move up on the north side, and we take a look. We see what's is Kaister. Kaister was training units there. I think he's trying to do a little bit of a sneaky. I think. You are so sneaky. Oh my god. Are you going to begin training units like down into his base? Oh my gosh. That's so frustrating. That is so frustrating. Veteran Hussars now coming in as well. So I guess Veteran Hussars work in this combination because they do really well against Lancers. They do well against the Skirms. We've got the Culverin on the shoreline beginning to focus down, and we see all the Rodolero, all the Lancers rather, chasing the Galleons saying, get out of here, boy. Get out. This is our pond. Looks like it's going to be going down. The second Culverin shot going to be coming in any second now. Enchiladas trying their best to get on top of the Guard Dragoons, but the Guard Dragoons are going to be able to repel them. And it definitely looks like Kaister's in a great position here, pulling ahead about 16k in score. Keep in mind there's a 10k deficit or 10k penalty we have to apply to him because he does have that heavy fortification cards that he's sent in from the home city. 182 population, got a lot of resources in the bank at the moment. By the same token, we take a look at his opponent, and we've got 3 mortars being trained. We've got 190 population, and both of these players are looking to do pretty well. Guard skirmishers now up the north side of the map as well. I can't actually tell the difference between these and veteran skirmishers. Did they take that away? Guard skirmishers used to have like this really brown jacket that was on the back, but it doesn't really look like they've got it now. They kind of look a bit like Jaegers, I guess. So in this position, I would definitely say that Kaister's got the advantage. Kaister, rather, has got the advantage. A 7,000 point lead is what I suspect it would be equivalent to. And slowly we see the Culverin begin to shell down the dock. Really smart move from Kaister because it forces his opponent to make Culverin. He says, you have to make Culverin now. But once again, we see a dock going up for Knuschelbär. But, you know, at the end of the day, it's not really going to do anything because we've got anti-ship attack of 40, which goes to, like, here. And it's going to deal with that, and there's 2 of those, and then, like, you're not going to be able to one-shot the fortified outpost anyway because it's fortified. And we've got a bit more of a battle coming down here on the south. We've got the 3 frigates going to be taking out the frigate of the Knuschelbär. Looks like we've got a couple mortars in here as well, so 3 frigates. How much health have we got on this? One's down to 700 health, down to 619, 618, 404 health. Looks like the frigate's going to be going down, 108 health left on it. He manages to get it out by the skin of its teeth, 105 hit points. I'm going to have to sit up in my chair. This game is getting serious right now. No Garachista upgrade just yet. We've still got veteran Lancers for both of the players. And we've got down the south, mortars beginning to shell the fortified outpost on the shoreline. It looks like a frigate is potentially getting trained as well down at this south. Garachistas running, or veteran Lancers running into the Enchiladas and getting taken out before they decide to back out. Dragoons are doing quite a lot of work here. I like the Dragoon composition. Definitely, I'm a big fan of the Skirm Goon bot, but I would love to see some unction out of these players. Do we have unction yet? No unction coming in still. At this point, I feel like unction is just going to... It's like 50% attack, man. Just get unction. Garachista's now moving in towards the front line. They just need to connect with the skirmishers, but they're having a little bit of fun pathing in the definitive edition, it seems. They've decided to recall their decision to pass up. Now getting the Garachista upgrade, and don't they look absolutely beautiful? They kind of look like halberdiers on horses. They really look majestic. And now Kaister in a difficult spot as he falls back right now, probably picking the wrong fight. Garachistas for his opponent as well, Knuschelbär. And Knuschelbär actually looks to be winning this fight. Now keep in mind, Kaister up about 18k score, 10k of that, going over to heavy fortifications at this point. Knuschelbär finally sending in that unction, and that is exactly what we need to be seeing. We take a look and we do see that there is 2,300 wood currently in the stack for Knuschelbär. There's also a 5,700 stack of wood here for Kaister. So I do agree with Donati. We're probably going to be needing an IP check on these players. That either of these guys could be the big Aussie Drongo stacking up that much wood. It is illegal to do unless you're from Australia. I can say that much as a guy who packs a lot of wood in my bank. So, guys, it's getting to that point in the morning. I'm putting words out there that I probably shouldn't be putting out. It's actually 8:11 in the morning right now. Sun has come up well and truly. It's beginning to shine into my face. I'm going to use that as my excuse as to why I'm a little bit incoherent at this point. Delirious is what EGC TV says, and I got to agree with you. We're getting to that point, but take a look at all of these fortified outposts. One of the things you got to be careful of with these outposts, if you've got them all grouped together like this, if you send in a mortar shot and hit this outpost, we'll actually hit this one as well. So you're kind of losing two outposts at the same time. We've now got the caravels beginning. The caravels, the culverin beginning to get trained. Down towards the south of the map, we've got the inevitable battle, the infinite battle on water. So just as one battle at the north seems to be won by Knuschelbär, it looks like towards the south we've got a battle that's about to be won by his opponent, Kaister. And I feel like the battle at the south is the one that really matters. The battle at the north is one that can continue on for at least probably another 15, 20 minutes quite easily. And, you know, the mortars are going to have to work their way around. That's another 5 minutes at least with Definitive Edition pathing. So we actually see that there's... Did you guys see that mortar? It went for a swim, drowned, and now they don't know where to find him. Skirmisher's got to get in on the attack. Garrechista's doing a great job here. I'm curious to see how the Dragoons fare in this matchup, but I suspect the Rodoleros are really what are going to break it apart. 19 attack on each of these Rodoleros. Look how fast they run away. But now Kaister in a great spot. 90 villagers. Keep in mind, a lot of these villagers are fishing boats. He's got 18 fishing boats out at the moment. All of them on coin as well. So he's feeling very, very good about himself. Those are extremely fast gathering villagers. And now the missionary's sitting on the back line. Let's see if Kaister picks it up and says, I'm going to send in Akshan myself. He goes for improved buildings. Oh, gosh, I can't help but feel like it's a little bit of a mistake. He's got 6k wood stacked up right now. I guess maybe it's not a mistake. Improved buildings. Maybe just go for extensive fortifications at this point, Kaister. I mean, you know, it's a tough spot. It's a tough spot. I'll say that much. A lot of villagers at the moment, but a lot of... I don't know if they're just walking or idle or where they are, but I only see about... Oh, actually, I take that back. There's about 80 villagers here. Kaister actually pulling out the repelling volley, though, and repelling the Espelada. The Espelada. I don't know. What are these guys called? Espadachi. Calling out... Oh, my God. I'm taking a swig of Red Bull, guys. Calm down. Calm down. Oh. All right, we're back. Okay, so I guess the question is Knuschelbär going to be able to out DPS the army of Kaister? Like, you take a look at this, right? 34 damage on these skirmishes versus 22. This is all the difference. But the economy of Kaister is just so much bigger. Even though the villager counts are quite even, the economies are significantly different just simply because you've got those extra fast gathering fishing boats. Like, you compare up to here, you've got 0.78. I mean, it's relatively close, actually, I guess. So, I mean, I guess it just comes down to the Dragoons. I really don't know what it comes down to. I don't know why Noosh isn't winning more convincingly. I feel like he should be. But despite that, we see a score lead now of about 17k. I think Kaister is actually going to pull ahead significantly here. Explorer on the back line still. Economic Theory coming out. 6k wood stacked up for Knuschelbär. 6.5k wood stacked up for Kaister. These guys are saving for houses, respectively. So between them, almost... how much is that? 12,000 wood? 12,000 wood? I think that's about 12,000 wood. It's a lot. I'll say that much. Skirmishes on the back line. Finally, a missionary coming out for Kaister. He hasn't sent in unction yet. He's sending it in now, but he's got 9 missionaries out. He's like, I need to get my unction ready to go. Oh, yeah, that's right, my unction. I think the unction is going to be the nail in the coffin, though, because he's got the economy, he's got the Garachista, and he's got, you know, just the superior forces, the superior micro. You just see the difference at this point. Really taking Noosh all the way. I tell you what, I am thoroughly impressed by Kaister. A lot of people were saying about Kaister, you know, he's going to come into this tournament, he's not going to win a game, you know, he's not going to win a series. And not only has he got through to the round of 8, he's taken 2 games off Noosh, and it looks like he's about to take the 3rd and take this game to take this series to a final game. So we are, you know, we're in the 6th game at the moment. If Kaister manages to win this, which I definitely think that he is going to do with this many Garachistas. He's got 20 Garachistas right now. I don't know why he's just not pushing into that. 20 Garachistas? I mean, gosh, 20 Garachistas would I guess that's a lot of enchiladas. That's 38. Okay. Yeah, maybe it was a wise decision. Unction now finally coming in. Garachistas on the front line. Got a whole bunch of... How much HP? They've got 44 guard attack. 44 attack. Oh no, all the skirmishers are meeting their makers right now. Garachistas coming in. Looks like the enchiladas are doing their best to get in on top of it as well. We see 38 guard attack, or guardian attack, God, I keep reading that. 46 attack with the 10 missionaries. Missionaries need to move up where these skirmishers are. Really start reaching in, bringing this attack upgrade in. We've got each player now with 6,000 wood, 6,500 wood, 7,500 wood. Both players saving for respective houses right now, but neither player really being able to afford to make any more army. We've just got 100 food, 400 coin for the first player, 1,800 food, 400 coin for the second player. Just economies in tatters, and Kaister pulling ahead by a mile at this point, being able to overwhelm completely the army of Knuschelbär. Up to 120 population now. Knuschelbär he's got Rodoleros in queue. Kaister on 174 population, and from here it looks like he's going to be able to snowball it. He's managed to maintain the majority of his presence on water, and one of the things I talked about earlier in this game is the fact that he's got these 4 safe whales. His opponent is sitting over there with 2 whales, one of them safe, one of them not so safe, and Kaister, on the other hand, sitting there with 3 safe whales, and Knuschelbär calling GG. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going through to round number 7. Let's get to it. What a game. The game continues on. I think that they're probably going to chalk it out a little bit, even though Noosh has called GG. Holy moly, what a game. No sleep for Drongo, indeed. Push the wood, indeed. It's time for me to crack open another Red Bull, because this one's running a little bit empty. Did he call GG preemptively? Was he like, hold on a minute, I can Turk a little bit longer here? It's the fake out GG. I think it might be the fake out GG. Monitor in the pond right now. Kaister just running rings around Knuschelbär, just giving him the run around. Impressive stuff from Kaister. Really, really impressive stuff. I wonder what's happening right now. Why is it that... Maybe the players are talking, we just don't see it. Maybe that's what's happening. Noosh in a difficult spot. Noosh not actually training anything or doing anything at the moment. So, yeah, I'm assuming both players are talking. I'm going to... Oh, I sped it up and look what happened. Straight to the end of the game. Let's take a look at that resource count. I really want to see that resource count. Wow. Look how close that is. That is so insane. Damn. That is insanity. Villager population. Kaister pulling ahead in the early game. 51 villagers. 67. Peaking at 71 before eventually going on to 96. And Noosh is having a very steady flow. Up to 97 villagers before eventually going down to 73. Ladies and gentlemen, we move forward onto match point. It is the 100% final game. You cannot get a game after this. It is legally impossible. Legally impossible. Illegal to have a game after this. I'm going to check and see if I've got a game 7. Looks like I've got a game 7, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to a final game. Let me just rename this one for us. So this one is game number 7. It's anyone's game at this point. Anybody's game at this point. Game 7 has been placed in the folder. Let's move on. I'm going to restart the game, and then we move into the final game. I'm going to put on some light music for you guys. Absolutely saying, the 2 players both decided to call the series a draw at 3-3 and both withdraw from the tournament. End of stream. Good night. Oh, if only it was that simple. All right. We're going into Age of Empires. I'm loading it up now. What was Noosh's power pick? I don't even remember, dude. I don't even remember. At this point, I'm just like... I've got Red Bull going through my veins. Alrighty. right, let's get that one out of here. I'm going to pause the game. Oh, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, whoa. All right. Okay. All right, who will win? Prediction. Get it up there, ladies and gentlemen. Get your bets in. The prediction is here for this. I want to say the 5th and final game, the 7th and final game right here. This is an amazing matchup for Kaister. Wow. Wow. Woo. Okay, this is crazy. For game 7, Noosh got to pick this matchup as well, and he chose to go with Japan. I guess that was probably all he had. Let's do a little quick check. I want to have a look and see if we go and have a look at the draft. Hold on, I'm going to go through to the final draft and have a look what civs he had left. So he had the Spanish, Japanese, Dutch, Haudenosaunee, and Portuguese. Now, he's won 3 games. I can't remember what he won with, but he'd only be able to play with 2 civilizations, one of them obviously being the Japanese. Did he win with the Dutch? Did we even see him play the Dutch? He lost the first game as the Dutch. He won with Dutch? Oh, okay. It'd have to be Portuguese then, because it'd have to be Spanish. He played Spanish in the last game, obviously. Okay, and then Kaister, he had Spanish, Swedish, Aztec, Lakota, and Portuguese. He won with Dude, Kaister won on both of the water maps, dude. Kaister water god? Kaister's the water god? What, dude? Are you serious? He won on... I thought Noosh was the water god, man. Oh, damn, dude. Kaister's out here picking, water maps. I'm like, oh, he's denying them from Noosh. No, he's fucking winning from fucking Noosh, dude. He's popping off. Damn. All right. You guys ready to get into this game? What a game. All right, let's do it. I'm going to fix up my sensitivity. Hopefully I don't pass out during this game. It's been a little bit of a long series. I've been streaming now since 11 p.m. So it would be... Is that 9 hours? I think 9 hours. So not too bad. A little bit of a stint, I'd say. All right. I hope you guys have got your bets in. Let's get into the game. Let's do it. G'day, fellas. Welcome to the 7th and final game between Knuschelbär and Kaister. Spawning in on the south of the map, playing the Japanese, is Knuschelbär. His opponent, spawning in at the north of the map, his opponent, Kaister. Kaister playing the Aztecs, a civilization that he really has as a pocket pick here. Keep in mind, in the most recent game, that was won by Kaister, which means that Knuschelbär went in and picked his map, also picked his civilization matchup. Kaister just said, okay, I know the map is Grand Chaco, so I'm going to play the Aztecs. And Knuschelbär said, I'm going to respond with the Japanese. Now, if you guys know anything about this matchup, it is that it is very favored towards the Aztecs, I would say. I would say incredibly favored towards the Aztecs. So much so that, I have difficulty believing that Noosh clicked into this matchup. But you need to remember that when it comes to the way that this series is formatted, that he didn't really have a lot of options. Was this a misclick? I think this might have been a misclick. Is he baiting? Oh, he's baiting it! Oh my god, he baited it! He nailed it! Oh my god, Noosh, you're the fucking god! He fucking baited it, dude! I fucking knew it, man! I'm like, he's gotta be baiting him, right? He's gotta be baiting him, right? He literally just started it right next to it. It was 100% a bait. And then he fucking just cleans up the 4 llamas, dude. What a beast, dude. Oh my god, I got shivers down my spine right now. Oh my god, it was amazing, dude. I was like, is he baiting him? And I just come over, there's the explorer right behind. I genuinely didn't think he was baiting him right there. Oh, that was so good. You gotta remember, okay, guys, that's for Japan. That is literally insanity, okay? He just made his Toshogu Shrine, instead of being a useless 0 Toshogu Shrine, his Toshogu Shrine is now a 6 Toshogu Shrine. Well, I mean, it's an extra 4 llamas. But it's really, really, really big. It's that is so massive. So really, really nice. Oh my god. That was a great bait, mate. You know, if it came down to a master baiter, I would have thought it would have been Kaister. But it turns out that it's actually Knuschelbär. So there you go. You get surprised all the time. So Noosh doing a really smart thing here, letting one Ree get onto here, and then using the 3 llamas here. These are going to be making him gather just slightly faster, having a trickle rate. But because he left this llama back to its base, it means that the one Ree gets on here, and all of these Ree are going to stay around here. They're not going to flock off over here. They're going to all stay around in this area so that when he moves these 3 llamas inevitably back into his base, the Ree are all going to jump back on this shrine. Very, very nice play. Really cool micro to see. Picking up the 100 XP. Let's take a look at his deck and see exactly what he's got planned for us today. Going with LS, which I'm assuming means land small, because he is a small player. So starting off with a Heavenly Kami shipment, very, very standard Japanese opening, most likely going to be going for the Toshogu Shrine as well. Nothing too out of the ordinary here. We see these 10 standard Japanese cards in pretty much every Japanese deck. Age 3 gets a little bit different though. We don't have any, we don't actually have any Yabusami upgrades at all. Now at first you might be, okay, that's a little bit crazy, but you got to think about this, right? Aztec don't have any artillery. So why would you need Yabusami? Okay, they don't have any cavalry. Well, they got that light cavalry stuff, but you can use Ashigaru for that. So I suspect that we're going to just see quite literally a giant mass of Ashigaru, Yumi, flaming arrows. That's pretty much it. We got the Yumi in the deck here in the 4th age as well. So now going to be aging up. I do suspect we should have that age up in queue any second now, Noosh. Any second now. Okay, the villager now coming out. Going to be placing that down. A little bit of a delay on the age up. Probably should have been about 5, 6, 7 seconds earlier. Going to be picking up 100 food as well down here to the south. Getting that villager in queue after the age up. Where is this cherry orchard? Orchard? Is that right? It's coming back right now. And Kaister definitely. Take a look at what Kaister's explorer's name is. El Swagador. And indeed, he's got some ultimate swag. Look at that. Oh, don't you love the way he just swags about? He's like, hey, baby, come over here. Give me some of your llama. And that's exactly what happened. Oh my god, he's already sieging the Toshogu Shrine down. But it's just regaining health. It's like, oh, he's got to siege it down, boys. No, he's not. It's regaining health. It's fine. We take a look at Kaister. Kaister already settling down very comfortably with the war hut. Going up with undoubtedly the 2 Skull Knights. We're at 3 minutes 50. Kaister getting serious right now. You can't do that. Why are you wasting your time? That's not going to happen. You're just going to put villagers in the town center and kill them. Focus them down with the explorer. Why are you wasting your time for, Kaister? That's not how it works. He can't really be thinking about this, can he? Surely these would be better off on this shrine, right? Trump Forever has invited you to a match. Oh, just a second, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to have to put something up over on the screen. Return to the main menu to accept that invite. That is very, very sweet, Trump Forever. Just give me a second. We've had someone come in with a little bit of a... I'm just going to put this up on the screen for the moment. Where is it? There we go. Just give me a second, ladies and gentlemen. Unfortunately, there is an exploit where you can invite people to games. So we're just going to put something up over the top of chat so that you guys won't be able to see that. You'll probably be able to hear it as it goes throughout the game. Yeah, we've got something all prepared and ready to go for that. So don't be alarmed. All right, so that should hopefully do it. So unfortunately, you guys are going to have a little bit of a black spot over on the right-hand side of your screen because unfortunately, if they do start spamming me, it's wait, what? Go offline on Steam? All right, I'm going offline on Steam. I'm going to hide this artifact over here. If it happens again. All right, we're going to unpause. EGC TV, I'm hoping that you'll cut all of that out and then just start us again from here for the YouTube. All right, let's get back into game number 7. All right, the 2 Skull Knights moving forward. Gonna begin sieging down the Wonder, but I don't understand why. Is Kaister trolling at this point? Like, does he not realize that the Wonder is just repairing itself? What's going on here? And so now this is he playing easy mode? And we've got a bit of a wall coming across here. Oh my god, look at the walls coming up from Knuschelbär. Knuschelbär not mucking around, says, you know what, I'm just gonna wall you out, but not realizing that he's already in. So you can definitely siege down Wonders. It's just that you need more than like 3 units to do it. So Kaister now going to be losing. He has got a, I mean, I was going to say a bad word, but he is very keen on this Wonder. Let's say that much. This is kind of, I feel like this is a bit of a throw, to be honest. Is Kaister tired? Does he not, like, the shrine has now gotten up. This is game 7 of a $5,000 tournament in the round of 8, where if you lose it, you're going home with your tail between your legs. And if you win it, you're going on to face the next round opponent in the round of 4, which is the semi-finals. And you're attacking the Toshogu Shrine that's now sitting at 5,000 HP because you didn't do any damage to it because it just healed. I don't know what he was doing, what he was thinking, but for whatever... Why is Knusch's score so low, though? What's going on here? I have no idea why Knusch's score is so low. But anyway, Kaister now dancing for his War Chief back. We might speed it up and then slow it down a little bit. Hopefully that makes it run a little bit better. Definitely running a little bit better now. Looks like the Explorer is going to be able to get away, or at least try to get away. He's doing it, giving him the old run around. Oh, it manages to get away with 7 HP. Coyote Runner's now coming in. So that could have definitely been like a shrine killed at the very least. I mean, what else is there around here? There's nothing else really around here, but like, I guess like it's not a huge amount that he's done. I guess he's idled his opponent. Like, that's one thing that he did. He sort of forced him to stay in his town center. Gets to pick up the Explorer as well. So that's a good thing in that he's now able to force his opponent not to be able to expand. And then, I mean, he's got one more Explorer heading out towards the south of the map, but I suspect that Kaister will probably realize that that's going to happen. Is Kaister trolling at this point? What he's now got Coyote Runners that are in cover mode, just hanging out with the villagers. More coyotes coming in as well. Now going to be sending through, or he's sending through maces, cancel them. He's now training villagers. We've got 4 warrior priests back here, so I haven't actually taken a look at his deck yet, so it's probably a good idea that I do that. I don't know what I'm doing is the name of the deck. Let's have a look and see exactly what we've got going on here, because it does kind of look like he doesn't know what he's doing. I'll be honest with you guys. I would love if he just picked up Aztecs and he literally had no idea what he was doing. Like, that would make a lot more sense, like, when it comes to this. But, like, surely you should know this, Kaister. Like, this... all right. Let's take a look at the deck. So we've got the 3 upgrades in here. We've got the upgrades for the maces. We've got the upgrades for the coyotes. We've got the upgrade for the eagle runner. So big 3 that we expect to see. We've got the 20 slingers in age 4. Now, keep in mind, I call these maces. They're not maces. They're slingers. They used to be called mace Haltons back in the original game. Really nice macro here from Kaister. Very, very tight. He's still sieging this down. Why are you sieging this? He's so keen on getting this down. Like, do you not see that there's a shrine right here that you could have, like, taken for free? You could have got so much XP off this. This is like, what is this? 40 XP, 50 XP, and then you get the aura that's 100 XP. Like, you need 247 for your next shipment. Like, that takes you up to here, man. Like, that's... Alright. I mean, you're the boss. You're the boss. You're in the driver's seat. I'm in the amateur bracket, so I'll let you do the walking. I'll do the talking. We'll take a look over at Knuschelbär. We'll see exactly what he's up to. He's got 3 nice, sneaky shrines down here to the south. Explorer now getting revived up with 93 health. More walls going up. So, Knusch definitely doing his best to try and stay in the game. We've got a batch of Yumi Archers that are now coming out. Yumi Archers going to be able to apply the pressure towards the front. Finally going to be going down this shrine. I say that, but I tell you what, these coyotes are going to be taking some time to siege because they've only got 11 siege damage, so they do it very, very slowly. Puma now coming out. These guys are going to be doing a little bit more. 42 siege. 42 siege. That's a lot of siege. I thought didn't they get their siege nerfed? Or am I crazy? I thought their siege went from... Oh, I think maybe it was 48 down to 42. Maybe that's what happened. Did they used to have 48 siege? I think that's what it was. That's a lot of siege, though. Pikeman. I don't know why I said pikeman. Sentry. Beginning just to block the exit, saying if you want to come in, that's fine. Now taking that down. 150 XP, so he's got the aura bonus, so the 50-50-50. So for anybody unfamiliar from the community plaza, there's a big button that you can research that costs 50 food, 50 wood, 50 coin, and it increases the experience aura that your war chief has got and gives you a 3 times experience aura instead of a 2 times experience aura. Quite a good upgrade. Quite a decent upgrade. War Hut now going down behind on this second hunt at the back here. Not really sure exactly what he's aiming to achieve. I guess he did send the 700 coin, or 700 coin, 600 wood from the home city. So probably just deciding, you know what, I got nothing else to really do with it. So he's going to begin looking around the map and training Eagle Scouts. I like this. This is pretty good. If he sends Eagle Scouts, I mean, I'd be going up here. You know, get 1 Eagle Scout up there, 1 Eagle Scout down here. I think that's the right thing to do. Continuing to look for that explorer, looking for those shrines. It doesn't look like he's going to be able to spot anything. Oh, he manages to spot it on the right on the edge of his vision. Spotting 3 shrines down here to the south. Now, this is going to be a tough spot because I don't think Knusch can actually push into here. And this is part of the reason why this matchup is so difficult for the Japanese player. Because the Japanese player likes to wall, he likes to make yumis. And, well, you can't really wall out here just yet. You've got to take it slow. You've got to continue pushing out slowly. You can see the way that Knusch is walling up progressively more and more with walls across the map. His explorer is continuing out across the map. He's up to 120 shrine population, so not doing too bad at the moment. I say that actually. He's only on 10 at the moment, and he's putting up his 10th one now. But losing 2 more as we speak. Ashigaru going to come out. Just going to do a little bit of a shot. Move back. Let's see exactly what happens. Looks like they're going to get off another volley. Explorer. The villager going to come out, do some walling here. So potentially going to see a wall come across like that. I would suspect is what we're going to see. A nice wall in that way. Got the Yumi out, but I mean, you could definitely be continuing to apply pressure here. I don't think that you have to back off, but I think that comes down to the fact that he didn't send those maces in. He decided to, you know, to be a bit more greedy, to say, oh my god, he's going up to age 3. He's going up to age 3. Damn, Daniel. Where did that come from? Going up with the Elder? I don't even know what the Elder is. Is that like the farms? What is the Elder? I don't even know what the Elder... It's probably not the farms. It's got to be like, oh, I think it's the War Chief. Oh, but he doesn't have the War Chief card. You know, the one that makes you go real fast? Monka, Kaister's in a good spot. Kaister is in a decent spot here. Training up maces as well. I guess my primary concern is that as this game continues to go on, Kaister's going to get in a worse and worse spot. So Japan scales throughout this game. Aztec doesn't scale as well as Japan does. We take a look at Knusch, and Knusch is taking this game very seriously. And you can tell because if I select this wall and press my select all button, he's got 32 walls up right now. That's a lot of walls that he has got on the map. Especially for 11 minutes into this game. He's taking this very, very seriously. So, I mean, I would love to see, you know, potential expansion up here towards the north, maybe even up here on this hunt. Really just, you know, doing exactly what he did here. Ideally, you want to put them out as far as possible as you can so that they don't get scouted out by your opponent. So for anybody wondering, like, oh, do walls need to be nerfed? No, walls don't need to be nerfed. There's nothing wrong with walls right now. Nothing. Nothing wrong with walls at all. At all. Villager now going down. On the edge of the map. A bit of damage going onto this wall on the side, but I mean, Knusch is doing exactly what he needs to do to be winning this game. So a lazy player wouldn't be doing these walls. These walls are amazing. Honestly, if I was a better player, I would be walling exactly like this every single game. This buys you so much time. It buys you the ability to react, buys you the ability to retreat. Look, if this wall wasn't here, boom, boom, baby, boom. I mean, not really. I mean, he wouldn't take these guys on. He would still lose this. But you guys get the point. Like, oh, imagine if that was, you know, if Aztec had spent 2,500 res on units instead of on aging up to the third age, you know, it would be different. Speaking of third age, Kaister's now reached the third age. Let's take a look and see exactly what he got from it. He's got the 2 Noble Hot Travars. That's what it was in the age up. So now in the third age, going to be sending 10 Coyote Runners. So playing it relatively standard here, not going for anything super duper crazy. You know, not opening with the 1,000 wood or something like that, but an Eagle Scout just hidden behind here ever so slightly. Very, very nice. Another Eagle Scout up here to the north. Very nice use of Eagle Scouts, but take a look at this. This is exactly what I talked about earlier. This is what I wanted to see out of Knuschelbär, and that's exactly what we've got. So it looks like he's going to be, I wouldn't say necessarily applying pressure, but, you know, distracting his opponent. We take a look at Nush's line of sight, and he's just almost walked straight up here. Just put this shrine up here. He's going to try his best. And by him doing this, it buys him time. And that's exactly what he wants, because he knows that his opponent is going to spot this. He knows that, oh, my opponent's going to see that. And now he's going to have to walk up here and potentially deal with it. Or at least that's what he wants. Whether that happens or not, it's a different story. Now sending in the 13 slingers as well from the home city. Getting these veterancy upgrades or elite upgrades. We've got elite coyotes, elite slingers coming in. And Kaister in a great spot here, honestly. Kaister is looking very dominating in this position. It's worked out very, very well for him. The matchup on this map especially, I'd be very happy with how it's going so far. A bit curious, the opening, I will say that much. I'm not sure exactly what was happening there and the intent on sieging down the Toshogu Shrine that just kept healing back its health, but he's managed to pull it back and say, you know what, I was trolling, but I'm not trolling anymore. He's pulled out the Red Bull. Stealth unit has now been uncovered, so I don't think it's this one. It's probably this one up here to the north that has been uncovered. So the Explorer has been spotted. 1,000 wood going to be the next shipment that comes in. So do we potentially see a transition into a town center boom? Potentially. We've got Coyotes that are now coming out as well. So a very, very decent mass here for Kaister. We take a look over at Knuschelbär. We see what he's up to. He's got the Nagis out. No Discipline upgrade yet. Going to be getting those Discipline Ashigaru. No Yumi upgrades yet. No real massive Yumi either. Only 15 Yumi at the moment. Going up with that Golden Pavilion as well. In the back of the base. Nice and tucked away safely. And take a look at these walls, dude. He had walled off here. Like, it's ridiculous, man. This is one of the things that, like, I talk about with the Japanese. And about, like, why they're so strong. Why walls are so strong. Is because if you actually know how to abuse walls, it is... like, it just controls your opponent so much, all right? Like, hypothetically, let's say he burns these walls down, and he gets through into here. Well, then he just walls across here. And then he's got flaming arrows behind it that are going to be shooting him. And so he's got to fall back. Now, he could make, like, arrow knights or something like that. I wouldn't be surprised if we see that, but not a particularly strong unit. 7 arrow knights going to be coming in now from the home city. I think that's probably the correct choice. They're sort of a pseudo monitor or... Culverin unit, so it's going to do quite well against the flaming arrows. Take a little bit of time to begin firing though, so we do actually see that the shrine is still alive up here to the north. Shrine over here as well, so Explorer going to be over here, and more scouting down to the south. We take a look at Nush and see he's on 170 population. At the moment he's got 16 shrines. Now keep in mind that there is a build limit of 20 shrines. 15 shrines now because one of them just died. And a bit of a push at the front. As I say that, it's actually just a villager getting attacked by the war hut. And doesn't that war hut look absolutely beautiful? I'm not sure if you guys can see just the amount of detail that is on that war hut on my screen. It's just amazing. One of the things that they did well in the definitive edition is updating all the textures, and that just looks absolutely beautiful. So flaming arrows beginning to siege down the war hut. They can see well and truly. God, look at the line of sight on those that war hut. That war hut just provides so much line of sight. Where are those? I'm waiting for them. Those Eagle Knights. Eagle Knights? Is that what they're called? Here they are, the Arrow Knights. They went back to the town center. Oh no. Oh no, they went back to the town center. Imagine if they'd come up here. If they had been transported here, well, you wouldn't be losing this war hut. This war hut's probably going to go down. If you want to replace it, you know, it's a potential, what, 250 wood that you're going to have to do, as well as the villager seconds. It's frustrating. You shouldn't have to deal with that. Doesn't really have an opportunity now to shoot the flaming arrows either. Because the flaming arrows don't really have to commit to anything. Nagi, going to begin moving outside the walls here. Flaming arrows, got to be careful. They continue falling back. And it definitely looks like Kaister is committing to the decision to take down the flaming arrows. Looks like they're going to begin sieging down the wall. I'm not sure exactly what they're focusing on, but definitely looks like they got flaming arrows themselves going to be firing on this back line. We take a look as the first of the flaming arrows. Looks like it's about to go down. There it goes. Second flaming arrow. 150 HP. Getting focused down by Kaister. We see the way he's posturing. And maces now, or slingers rather, for Kaister in a great position. Really, 22 slingers here. Slingers do very well against Yumis, especially considering these are only the normal Yumis. They're not quite the veteran or the upgraded Yumi, the disciplined Yumis that we do see. Kaister doing a great job of just cleaning this up. Still, it's so hard to see this in the mini map. It's like it's right on the corner of the of where the line of sight finishes. So it's like I don't even know if he can actually see it. I'm not sure if you guys can spot that, but it's like it's really hard to see that shrine. Some more Arrow Knights now getting trained. So a total of how many Arrow Knights are we gonna have? A total of 8 Arrow Knights. You probably don't need any more than 8 Arrow Knights. Like they're one of those units that just take a lot of time to siege, and you go any more than that, and well, they're 2 population. It's kind of expensive on your population, to be honest. Now picking up that 1,000 wood that he had back home. Has he managed to get back up to 10 warrior priests? He's up to 10 warrior priests. So a very decent boom that he's got there. 39 villagers. We take a look over at Knuschelbär. Knuschelbär on 41 villagers, so a little bit ahead, but he's also got those 15 shrines, as well as the Toshogu shrine, that's going to be increasing the rate, as well as providing about a trickle of 3 villagers there. So I'd say that at this point, Nush is definitely ahead when it comes to economy, but when it comes to the way that the units and the militaries interact with each other, I'd be tempted to say that Kaister is still ahead at this point. If we see a town center or 2 dropped by Kaister, I suspect that he's probably going to be able to pull out a victory. Oh my lord. It's a town center. It's a second town center. This is shaping up to be a Kaister victory. Honestly, his macro game is on point right now. He knows exactly what he needs to be doing to win this game. He is in a great position, I would say. The only thing is, though, with dropping these dual town centers, he really wants to try and buy as much time as possible. So that means it's hard. How do you buy time? You want to start sieging up here. You want to start sieging down here. You just want to kind of be annoying, if that makes sense. Like, you don't really want to be attacking your enemy directly, because if you do attack your enemy directly, they will realize that, hey, wait a minute, I can beat you here. And that's exactly what could happen. So if we see, like, this military looks quite significant, but when you compare that to Noosh, well, hold on, Noosh has got 26 disciplined Yumi. He's got 24 Ashigaru discipline. He's got the 2 flaming arrows. He's got a freaking 8 Nagis. He's sending in more upgrades. Like, he is focusing right now on military. He is, like, he's got 1 town center. That's it. A single town center. He is not thinking about going, to the 4th H. He's really just saying, I'm just going to keep making military, and I'm going to push at some point, or you're going to push me. One of the 2. And it's a difficult spot for him. So, it's like, I think that at the moment, the ball is definitely in the court of Noosh. If Noosh wants to win this game, he needs to push in the next 2 minutes. If he doesn't push within the next 2 minutes, I would say Kaister wins. So that's like, that's the sort of this, I wououldn't say the standard I'm setting, but like that's the way I'm looking at this game, because we know that Kaister, yeah, okay, now we've got a scout, a single Nagi coming through. He spots the town center. Does he say it's go time? Let's see what he says. I wouldn't be surprised if he spots that town center and just says, okay, you've got a town center, let's go. Because one of the things that you got to think about, okay, if your opponent has dropped 500 wood on a town center, that's 500 wood they haven't spent on units, and that's exactly what he's doing. He's moving. He's getting out there now. I think he's going to be committing to some sort of aggression right now. We can see that the way he's macroing, he's definitely preparing for it. We take a look over at Kaister. Kaister with the 3 villagers in queue right now, so really in a good spot for him, sending the Temple of Talok support. So once he gets these upgrades, he's going to be in a great spot. He's going to be losing his Explorer here. Not El Swagador. Not like this El Swagador. Actually, quite a decent mass from Kaister. And so, I guess at this point, we've got the Maces on the front line. 34 Maces. We've got 21 Coyote Runners. And the Eagle Runner mass is beginning to build. But keep in mind, the Yumis are going to be able to counter the Eagles quite well. He's got to be careful, though. Got to be careful. He's got some Nagis on the front line. And focusing down these Nagis, doing a great job. The rate of fire on these Eagles is quite fast, at 1.5 rate of fire. He's got to be careful. Honestly, with the 3 town centers up, I would not be fighting this Kaister. I would be like, I would just get back, man. Put up some walls of your own. Just get back. Just get back. You've got, like, your upgrades are coming through now. You're going to have your combat card coming in soon. You're going to be able to get, like, you're going to be able to max out on Eagle Runners. You're going to be in a great spot. But to be honest, like, I mean, you're pushing right now, and it's working. Like, somehow you're going 3 TC boom, and you're pushing in your opponent, and it's actually working. Are you that far ahead? I mean, the scores indicate that... you're relatively even, but I guess on economy, 51 villages at the moment. He's got the 10 warrior priests, 45 villages. He doesn't have warrior priests, but he's got shrines, and he's got a lot of them. I guess he's got to be careful here, because I feel like he's almost overextending a little bit here. Keep in mind that the Discipline Yumi just got their upgrade card in. They've got Way of the Bow, so they're going to have a slightly longer range. They also get an upgrade. What is it? An upgrade to hit points, and the range upgrade, also a line of sight upgrade, but not that that matters. Way of the Bow, or Yumi Archer attack now going to be coming in as well. So he knows exactly what he needs to do, but Kaister's going to be really careful. I don't know exactly what Kaister's doing here. Eagle Runner on the back line. I say that, but it's like... I don't know. I feel like the Aztec units are so strong. It's so deceiving, man. It's really hard to tell. Keep in mind, these guys are playing at the top level, and we've got Aztec going up against Japan. Now, I guess this matchup is a little bit more difficult for Japan, so it's not like it's it's an example of an amazing game. But oh no, now we've got a bit of a problem. Now we have a bit of a problem because Kaister is stuck. I'm not sure if you guys see exactly what's happened here, but Kaister is stuck. Help, step bro. Help, step bro. I am stuck. I'm stuck between 2 walls and a hard place because there's a whole bunch of Naginata that are now beginning to push on. We can see that the Arrow Knights are doing their best to try and take this wall down. Walls at the back. It looks like Kaister's going to be forced into a battle. We've got the elite Coyote runners that are on the front line that are going to be like preventing any attacks coming in from the connection on the Nagis. But the issue is that you've got all of these Yumi on the back. 37 Yumi, 20 Ashigaru, and Kaister beginning to push forward. Kaister down to 12 Eagle Runner Knights. Kaister, you're showing him your hand. You had 3 town centers up. Why not just chill back? Why not just wall up yourself? Why you got to go like this, bro? Not like this. Combat card could potentially come in here. Honestly, in this position, I'm like, what do you even send here? I guess like go Coyotes and just go full mass Coyotes. But you don't have any hunts that you can go off though. That's the problem. Like, this is your only hunt right here. Like, I guess you've got a hunt here, but even then it's like, you saw a shrine just go down right there. There's the shrine. So it's not like you've got any... Like, this is your only hunt. You get pushed off this hunt, and now what do? I think that at this point, Noosh is up by about 4K score at this point. So Noosh looking very, very good. And one of the things that I talked about is Noosh needed to push within the first 2 minutes. He didn't needed to push within those 2 minutes. He didn't need to push. You know why? Kaister came to him. Noosh now spotting out that second TC. He knows that the Kaister is, or that he is on a timer rather, and that he should have the opportunity to push right now. I'm not sure exactly why he's not making that decision, to be honest. I honestly, if I saw that third town center, I'd be like, okay, I have to go right now. Like, if there's... This point at the game is where I'm at my most advantageous point. When you see 3 town centers, that's the best time for you to possibly go. Either you go or you make 3 town centers yourself, and you got to deal with it from there. It's one of the two though. You can't just sit in the middle and be like, I'm just going to sit in my base with 1 town center. That's not how it works. Even though you are Japanese and you've only got a cap of 75 villages, but we've got villages now in the middle of the map going down. Kaister going to be losing a couple of villages, sending in night combat, but not having a lot of knights here. Only 12 knights. It's not really much, is it? 12 knights in night combat? Like, oh, I feel like just the Coyote runners would have just been so much better. It's only 7 Coyotes, but at least you give them, like, you get that extra armor, you get a little bit of damage. Maybe even send in something. GG, good luck in the semis. Kaister's called it. It's game over. A little bit anticlimactic, but Knuschelbär coming out with the victory. Incredibly well played. Kaister in the chat. I see an FB touchdown. Kaister forever. FB touchdown. Kaister forever. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching this series. Congratulations over to Knuschelbär, winning the series 4-3 over Kaister. Kaister, impressive stuff, mate. Really, really impressive stuff. I didn't expect to see you come this far in the tournament, let alone win a game. Let alone win 3 games up against Knuschelbär. Really well played. You literally took him to the very last game, and it looked like at some points I was pretty confident you were going to win. I mean, forget about this this whole Toshogu Shrine drama, but like you were looking really hot in that early game. So really well played. Congratulations to Knuschelbär. Going to be moving on to the semi-finals, the round of 4. I'm not sure exactly who he's going to be going up against. But that's something that you'll be able to tune into, undoubtedly. I hope that you guys have enjoyed this cast. If you haven't, then I encourage you to go away. And if you have enjoyed it, I encourage you to follow the channel. If you're watching this back on YouTube, leave a like on the video. We're going to go do a raid because it is time for me to go to bed because it is 9 a.m. in the morning. I've been casting for 10 hours. Holy moly. I think it's time that we raid. Do we give a little bit of a raid to Widgie? I'm not sure if I've got the ability to raid. We're going to give it a try. Please close the predictions. Yes, I will close those predictions right now for you. Let's do who will win Game 7. It was Knuschelbär. Congratulations, all of the faithful. Let's see if I've got the option. I don't have permission to perform that action. If we could get a raid, that would be wonderful. I see Maito or Perez in the chat. Oh, but I don't think that's talking about raiding. I think that's about who's going to be coming up next. So I think we're gonna give Widgie 1 a raid. We see that he's streaming at the moment. He's been streaming for... It doesn't actually say how long he's been streaming. I hope you guys have enjoyed the cast. Very nice series indeed. Really, really well played by both players.